RAIN and Storytelling Audiobook. Beauty and the Beast, Bedtime Story for Grown-Ups, introduces a quiet listening space for the night. This program pairs steady rain with a gentle retelling of Beauty and the Beast, a story first written in France in the 7th. The pace is slow, the language simple, and the tone calm. Soft rainfall sets a consistent background, while a clear narration guides a visit to lantern-lit streets, a warm hall, and a quiet library. Candles, blankets, and low firelight provide mild sensory detail without strain. Breathing slows, shoulders ease, and thoughts grow lighter as scenes unfold in small, steady steps. The focus remains on comfort, safety, and rest. This introduction prepares the mind for an even rhythm, so the full story can arrive quietly and support deep sleep. Chapter 1. Begin with rain tapping softly, setting a calm, steady rhythm. Rain begins to fall gently, a steady tapping that softens the air and fills the quiet with rhythm. It is not hurried, and it is not strong, only soft enough to create a calm backdrop that soothes the senses. The sound spreads evenly, each drop finding its place, falling against rooftops, windows, and leaves. The steady rain becomes a kind of music, one that never demands attention, but slowly lulls the mind toward stillness. The air carries a faint coolness, and with every passing moment, the sound of the rain grows more familiar, more comforting, as though it has been falling for a very long time. The body responds to this sound, easing tension little by little. Shoulders feel lighter, the jaw softens, and the chest feels freer with each breath. Muscles no longer hold the weight of the day. They begin to loosen, following the calm rhythm outside. Breathing slows to match the rain, as if every inhale meets the quiet sound of droplets, and every exhale releases them gently back into the night. The room feels dim and steady, shadows resting quietly against the walls, the blankets warm against the skin, and the pillow soft beneath the head. The bed holds the body securely, a place of rest that needs no effort. There is no rush. There is no demand. Only this moment, where the sound of rain settles in deeper and deeper, creating a quiet shelter for the mind. The rhythm outside remains even and unbroken, like a companion that knows how to be both present and gentle. The body listens, and the mind begins to soften with it. Thoughts that were sharp become slower. Edges blur. The pace of the day is gone, replaced with a slower current that carries everything forward without needing control. Breathing falls into its own natural rhythm. Each breath comes in cool and steady. Each exhale leaves long and smooth, as if emptying not only the lungs but also the weight of the day. The space between breaths grows quiet. In that space, calm takes its place, filling every corner of awareness with softness. The dim room becomes the first layer of comfort. Blankets pressing lightly against the body, air holding a soft coolness, and the pillow supporting every part of the head. Everything needed is already here. Comfort surrounds without needing to be called for. The body surrenders to stillness, and the rain deepens this stillness, tapping its quiet song into the night. The mind becomes more open, ready to follow gentle images that arise with ease. The rain is not only sound, but also a doorway into calm pictures that appear slowly, naturally. In the quiet rhythm of the rainfall, an image of a small village street begins to form. Lanterns glow faintly against the dark, their soft yellow light reflecting off wet cobblestones. An umbrella opens, shielding a figure from the gentle rain. Belle walks slowly, her steps calm and unhurried. Her shoes touch puddles, and tiny ripples spread outward. Quiet circles, moving across the surface of water. Each step is soft, each movement steady, as though the rain and the night guide her without pressure. Her breathing is calm, and the air around her feels cool against her skin. The sound of water gathers everywhere. From rooftops, from leaves, from the ground beneath her. It forms one unified sound. A calm world that asks for nothing but presence. The lantern light touches her face, gentle against the dim rain, and the umbrella shields her from the drops that fall above. The streets are empty, yet they are not lonely. They are quiet, still, and safe. Belle walks with ease, feeling the rhythm of her own steps blend with the rhythm of the falling rain. The night holds her like a companion. The air smells fresh and clear, carrying the scent of damp earth and stone. She continues on, moving with a quiet grace, her presence steady in the calm street. The rain follows her softly, never rushing, never fading, only continuing as though it will last through the whole night. Far in the distance, beyond the edge of the quiet street, a castle rises. Its windows glow warmly against the rain-dark sky, and its walls shine faintly, where water flows down their stone. It does not appear distant or foreboding. Instead, it feels like a place of rest, a place that welcomes her steps forward. The glow of the windows grows steadier the closer she comes, like a beacon of quiet comfort guiding her from the village to its doors. The rain does not lessen, but under its steady rhythm, the journey feels natural and simple. Each step brings her closer, and each drop of rain adds to the feeling of calm. The great gate of the castle stands before her, tall and firm. It opens slowly, as though the rain itself guides its movement. The hinges move without harsh sound, only a soft, low groan that blends into the night. The pathway beyond shines with water, smooth stones reflecting the glow of torches that line the way. Each torch burns steadily, the flames steady despite the rain, casting light that glimmers against the wet ground. Belle steps through the gate, her umbrella closing as the shelter of the castle begins to take her in. The rain continues outside, but here the sound is softer, filtered by stone walls and high archways. It becomes a distant lull, a gentle reminder of the world beyond. The great hall welcomes her quietly. Candles burn along the walls, steady and still, their light creating soft pools of warmth. The air holds the smell of fresh bread, baked not long ago, carrying comfort into the room. The sound of the fire hums in the distance, a low crackle that blends with the muffled rain. The space is not overwhelming. It is calm, steady, and alive with warmth. Each step Belle takes is light, her shoes tapping against the smooth stone floor in a rhythm that joins with the fire and the rain. The hall is wide, but it does not feel empty. It feels held, as though it was prepared for this quiet moment of rest. In the stillness, the beast approaches. His presence is steady and calm, his voice low and gentle, carrying no weight but softness. His eyes hold thoughtfulness, a quiet watchfulness that seeks no demand, only presence. He stands in calm posture, steady and at ease, his movements slow and deliberate. There is no rush in him, no tension, only a quiet acceptance of the night and the visitor who has entered his hall. His presence is not heavy. It is grounded, like the earth beneath rain, steady and reassuring. The air between them is unbroken by unease, only filled with the sound of fire and rain, blending softly together. He offers a chair near the fire, its fabric soft, its cushion holding comfort. Belle accepts, sitting quietly, as warmth gathers around her from the nearby flames. The chair holds her body easily, the back supporting her shoulders, the seat carrying her weight in balance. The fire hums gently, its low sound steady and calming. The warmth touches her skin, and the faint scent of wood adds to the quiet comfort of the hall. She does not need to speak. She does not need to move. The chair, the fire, and the hall are enough to carry this moment into stillness. After some time, he invites her to see the library. They walk together, their steps unhurried, the hall carrying their quiet rhythm. The library opens wide, shelves filled with books, their pages steady and waiting. The air smells of paper and ink, faintly warm from the firelight. Belle moves through the rows, fingers brushing the bindings, pages crisp beneath her touch. She takes a book from the shelf, its weight light in her hands. Opening it, the pages turn softly, the words steady and clear, their presence comforting rather than demanding. The library does not press itself upon her. It waits, offering its stories gently, like the rain outside offering its rhythm without change. The beast stands nearby, his eyes calm, his posture still, as though he too is listening to the sound of the turning pages. They exchange words quietly. Questions rise and are answered simply, with patience and thought. There is no urgency, no need for more than what is spoken. Each sentence builds ease, as though the conversation itself follows the steady rhythm of the rain outside. Their voices move gently, carrying calm in every phrase. The silence between words is not heavy. It is restful, filled with shared quiet. Trust builds slowly, not through effort but through the calm presence of two beings sitting together in stillness. The hall, the fire, the rain, and the library all hold them in this space, free of demand, free of expectation. After time in the library, they step into the sheltered garden. The rain still falls gently, leaves shining with wetness, droplets gathering and sliding down in slow paths. The air feels cool and clean against the skin, carrying the fresh scent of rain-soaked earth. The garden paths glisten under faint torchlight, each step reflecting light as water gathers in small pools. Flowers bend slightly under the weight of rain, petals holding droplets that sparkle like tiny beads. Belle walks calmly, her hand brushing against leaves slick with water, coolness touching her fingertips. The beast walks beside her, his steps steady, his breathing quiet. The rain falls around them but never presses, only continues its calm rhythm, as though it has no end. Their breathing aligns with the steady pace of their steps, smooth and unhurried. Inhale follows exhale. Exhale follows inhale. Each cycle calm and unbroken. The night stretches gently around them, without rush, without boundary. The rain becomes not only sound, but also rhythm for the body itself. Time slows. The garden becomes part of the calm world that holds them both. And within it, peace settles deeper. When the walk is complete, Belle imagines returning home. The night still quiet, the rain still falling softly in the distance. Her bed weights blanket smooth, pillow cool, and room dim. Comfort welcomes her again, as though it had never left. The body feels heavy now, in the way that signals rest. The eyelids soften, lowering with ease. The jaw releases the last of its tension. Shoulders fall fully into the bed. Breathing remains slow, steady. Each inhale soft, each exhale longer, as though the body itself knows the rhythm of the rain. The rainfall outside continues its steady tapping, calm and even. Muscles soften completely, weight sinking deeper into the bed. Nothing more is needed. Every sound, every breath, every image fades into quiet. Thoughts dissolve slowly. Like ink fading into water, awareness becomes light. Drifting, unbound. The rain carries the last edges of the day away, leaving only stillness. Sleep comes gently, steady, and calm, arriving without effort, without call. It simply appears, like the rain that has been falling all night. Natural and continuous, the night holds everything in rest, and rest becomes complete. Chapter 2. Invite your body to settle. Shoulders releasing, jaw relaxed fully. The most powerful gift you can offer yourself at the end of the day is the choice to let go and allow your body to enter a deep state of calm. When the day has asked for your energy, your focus, and your effort, the simple act of softening into stillness becomes a gentle reward. It begins by noticing where tension lingers. The shoulders often carry weight that does not need to be held any longer. As you bring awareness there, imagine them releasing downward, slowly sinking into comfort. The muscles loosen, the heaviness dissolves, and space opens across the upper body. The jaw follows next, no longer clenched, no longer holding words or thoughts. It softens, parting slightly, resting naturally without strain. The face becomes smooth, and the entire body responds by shifting closer to rest. Breathing begins to slow, becoming a steady rhythm that guides the mind toward quiet. Each inhale draws in ease, and each exhale releases the subtle grip of the day. The chest rises gently, the ribs expanding in a calm wave, and then falls back into stillness, leaving behind only calm. The neck relaxes, the throat free of effort, and a sense of openness spreads upward through the head and downward into the torso. What once felt heavy now feels light, as if the body understands that there is nothing left to hold on to tonight. The space around you adds to this comfort. The air is cool and still, brushing lightly across your skin. The blankets are warm, surrounding you with familiarity, and the pillow cradles the head with steady support. The body begins to feel heavier in the best possible way, sinking deeper into the surface beneath it, embraced fully by the simple act of resting. With every passing breath, the body knows it is safe to release, safe to let go of effort, safe to surrender into the night. Awareness spreads slowly through the body, one area at a time, encouraging each part to soften. The arms loosen at the sides, fingers resting without grip, palms open and relaxed. The spine eases into alignment, no longer carrying posture, simply resting in its natural curve. The hips and thighs grow heavy, melting downward into stillness, while the legs follow, stretching out and settling with ease. The ankles rest without tension, and the feet fall comfortably into place. There is nothing left to fix, nothing left to control, only the gradual arrival of peace spreading from head to toe. As the body relaxes more deeply, the mind also finds release. Thoughts may still drift in, but they are no longer sharp or urgent. They pass like clouds in a slow-moving sky, appearing and fading without effort. The sound of your breath steadies them, guiding each thought to soften until the mind feels spacious and clear. Any concerns from the day lose their weight here. They are set aside, not gone forever, but placed gently on the edges of awareness, where they can wait until tomorrow. For now, stillness takes priority. The body continues to settle. The rhythm of breathing grows slower, deeper, and smoother, as though each inhale and exhale is shaping the quiet inside you. The chest rises like a calm tide, and then falls back, carrying you deeper into ease. The heartbeat slows in harmony, steady and quiet, keeping time with your breath. You notice the sensation of relaxation traveling everywhere, across the scalp, down the back of the neck, through the arms, across the chest, through the belly, legs, and into the very tips of the toes. Every part of you understands the signal that it is safe to rest. The dimness of the room adds to the peace. The air carries a hush, as if everything outside has also chosen to pause. The atmosphere is still and supportive, protecting this quiet moment. The blankets hold in warmth, and the pillow holds in steadiness. With nothing else asked of you, the body falls deeper into comfort. The skin feels warm where the blanket touches, and cooler where it does not, balancing naturally. Every detail of the environment joins together to form a gentle cocoon of rest. As this calm continues, the body feels heavier, yet freer at the same time. Heavier in the sense of grounding, of being anchored safely where you are. Freer in the sense that muscles no longer cling to strain, and the mind no longer clings to noise. You are simply here, resting in quiet balance. The release of the shoulders and the softness of the jaw are now complete. These simple shifts have allowed the entire body to follow their lead, and now peace spreads everywhere. The quiet rhythm of the body begins to feel like a signal, one that tells every part of you that sleep is near. Muscles grow heavier, the eyelids droop lower, and the space between thoughts stretches wider. What began as conscious relaxation is now turning into natural surrender. The body no longer needs direction. It knows where it is going. It is traveling deeper into calm, deeper into stillness, deeper into the night. Every part of this process feels safe. Nothing is rushed. Nothing is forced. The release of the shoulders, the loosening of the jaw, the quiet rhythm of the breath, all of it brings a sense of being exactly where you need to be. Sleep does not have to be called. It comes naturally when the body is ready, and the body is already on its way. Each moment that passes adds to this readiness, adding to this journey toward rest. Soon, awareness will drift into dreams. The body will remain still, the breath will remain calm, and the mind will wander into its quiet world of images and silence. For now, you linger here, balanced between wakefulness and sleep, enjoying the gentle stillness. You do not need to do anything. The night is already carrying you forward. The release you gave your shoulders and jaw was the beginning. It opened the way for the entire body to follow. Now every muscle, Every joint, every thought, and every breath is part of this unfolding rest. It all flows together into one steady state of peace. Chapter 3. Breathe in slowly and exhale longer, easing your thoughts. The most calming strength you can bring into this moment is the power of your own breath, a natural rhythm that steadies the body and quiets the mind. Each inhale and exhale is more than a simple act. It is a gentle movement that carries you toward rest. When you breathe in slowly, air fills the lungs in a smooth, steady wave. It is not rushed and it is not shallow. It flows inward fully, bringing a quiet freshness into the chest. As the lungs expand, the body feels a subtle lift, a rise that is steady and soft. Then comes the exhale, longer than the inhale, moving out with ease, emptying not only the lungs, but also the strain of the day. The longer out-breath releases what no longer needs to be carried, leaving behind a sense of openness and calm. This steady cycle of breathing creates balance. The slow inhale brings in calmness. The long exhale clears space for rest. Together, they guide the body to settle further, loosening areas of tightness and creating a natural rhythm that the whole body follows. The heart beats gently in harmony with this pattern, finding steadiness in the breath's guidance. The chest moves like a quiet tide, rising and falling without effort, and each movement becomes a reminder of how easy it is to rest here. As the breath continues, awareness begins to change. The focus turns inward, gently observing the simple act of breathing without the need to control or adjust. Each inhale feels smooth, each exhale longer and slower, drawing the body deeper into quiet. Thoughts begin to ease away, no longer pushing forward, no longer demanding attention. They appear faintly, then dissolve as the next breath flows in and out. Breathing becomes the anchor, steady and reliable, holding the mind in a state of calm. The length of the exhale becomes a signal for relaxation. Every time air leaves the body in a long stream, muscles respond by softening. The shoulders settle more deeply. The spine rests more fully. The arms and legs loosen further. The longer the exhale, the heavier the body feels in comfort. It is as though each out-breath releases another layer of effort, peeling it away until only ease remains. The rhythm becomes self-sustaining, the body no longer needing to think about how to relax because the breath is already doing the work. The slowness of the breath influences the pace of the mind. Time itself feels slower, the minutes stretching with calm. There is no urgency. The world outside the breath fades further into the background. The present moment becomes full and clear, defined only by the quiet cycle of air moving in and out. The inhale fills like a calm wave. The exhale empties like a soft release. Together they create a steady flow, each cycle leading naturally into the next. With this steady rhythm, the body begins to feel balanced from within. The lungs expand and contract smoothly. The belly rises and falls gently, and the chest moves in harmony. The air feels cool on the way in, warming slightly as it leaves. This small detail brings attention to the reality of the body resting here, alive and calm, anchored in simplicity. Nothing else needs to happen. Breathing alone is enough to create comfort. The quiet repetition of this pattern deepens rest. The longer exhalations signal the nervous system to slow down, to ease into stillness. To shift away from alertness, the body understands these signals, responding with slower heartbeats, lower tension, and a natural heaviness that prepares for sleep. Each breath builds on the last, creating a chain of calm moments that connect seamlessly together. With every passing cycle, the body moves further away from the demands of the day and closer toward true rest. The mind, too, becomes clearer in this rhythm. No sharp thoughts remain. No quick movements of the imagination interrupt the flow. When an idea arises, the exhale carries it away gently. Like a leaf drifting downstream, what remains is space, open and undisturbed, ready for the quiet that follows. The inhale invites calm. The exhale allows release. Together, they create a balance between holding and letting go, between stillness and movement, between awareness and rest. This steady breathing not only relaxes the body, but also deepens the sense of safety. The long exhale signals that there is no danger, nothing to prepare for, nothing to resist. It tells the body that it can rest fully, that it is secure enough to surrender to sleep. Muscles grow softer in response. Joints loosen, and the entire body feels supported by the surface beneath it. The breath reassures the body again and again, each cycle reinforcing the message that now is the time to let go. As the rhythm continues, the breath begins to feel automatic. It no longer needs focus. The body has taken over, keeping the pattern steady, natural and calm. Inhales continue to fill gently. Exhales continue to extend longer. And the body continues to release with each cycle. Awareness becomes lighter, less attached to thought, more absorbed in the simple quiet of breathing. The heaviness of the body deepens as the breath carries tension away. Shoulders sink fully. Arms rest without movement. Legs grow heavy with relaxation. The jaw remains soft. The eyes calm. The skin warm under the blanket. All of these details create the foundation for sleep. The breath continues its work in the background, preparing the body to drift further and further into stillness. With each long exhale, the body feels more complete in its release. The mind feels quieter, the heart steadier, the breath smoother. Nothing is left undone. Nothing is missing. Everything that needs to happen is already happening in this rhythm. Sleep approaches naturally, drawn by the calm that the breath has created. Soon, the line between wakefulness and rest will blur completely. Inhales will continue softly. Exhales will lengthen even more. But awareness will drift away from them, carried into the gentle state of dreams. The breath will guide you there without effort, without decision. It will simply happen, because the body is ready, the mind is ready, and the rhythm of breathing has created the perfect path. This path is steady, simple, and complete. Inhaling slowly, exhaling longer, easing thoughts, releasing tension, calming the heart, quieting the mind. Each part flows into the next, creating a cycle that never breaks. Within this cycle, rest deepens, stillness grows, and sleep arrives naturally, without needing to be called. The power of the breath remains constant. Even as sleep takes over, the body will continue this rhythm, keeping you safe, keeping you calm, carrying you through the night. For now you rest in the transition, where breathing leads you deeper into quiet, and quiet leads you deeper into sleep. Chapter 4. Notice the dim light. Blankets warm. Pillow supporting your head. The most peaceful way to welcome rest tonight is to become aware of the space surrounding you, noticing how every small detail of this moment is already designed to bring you comfort. The light in the room is soft and dim, casting only gentle shadows across the walls. It does not strain the eyes and it does not demand attention. It simply exists as a calm background, wrapping the space in quiet stillness. The body responds to this dimness by slowing down, by knowing that nothing more needs to be done. The day has ended, and the night has settled in, carrying you toward ease. The blankets covering you bring steady warmth. They hold the skin in a layer of softness, not too heavy, not too light, just enough to remind the body that it is safe and contained. Every fold of fabric lies smoothly against you, creating a cocoon of comfort. The air outside may shift in temperature, but within the blanket there is consistency, a reliable warmth that never fades. The body understands this signal and sinks deeper into the bedding. Shoulders ease down, arms grow heavy, and legs rest without effort. The blankets do their work silently, offering protection without needing recognition. The pillow beneath your head supports with quiet strength. Its surface holds both firmness and softness, cradling the head in balance. The neck feels free of pressure, the head steady yet cushioned. No part of you needs to search for a better position, because the pillow meets you exactly as you are. It gives where you need softness, and it holds where you need stability. This simple support frees the rest of the body to let go completely. With the pillow in place, the jaw releases, the eyes soften, and the mind allows itself to settle more deeply into calm. Each of these details, the dim light, the blankets, the pillow, works together to create an environment where the body knows rest is possible. There is no harsh brightness, no sharp edge of cold, no discomfort of posture. Everything around you is aligned toward stillness. The senses register this alignment slowly. The eyes grow heavy as the dim light signals quiet. The skin relaxes as the warmth of the blankets signals safety. The muscles soften as the pillow signals support. Piece by piece, awareness drifts away from alertness and into the beginnings of sleep. Breathing joins this atmosphere naturally. The air enters smoothly, filling the lungs with ease, then leaves slowly, releasing with calm. Each inhale brings awareness of the warmth surrounding you. Each exhale carries away any leftover strain. The sound of the breath is subtle, steady, blending with the stillness of the room. It becomes part of the environment, one more element of calm that joins the light, the blanket, and the pillow. Together they form a complete picture of rest. As the mind takes in these details, thoughts lose their urgency. They no longer crowd for attention, because the environment speaks more strongly than they do. The dim light says it is time to slow down. The warmth says it is time to let go. The pillow says it is time to release effort. With these clear messages, thoughts quiet themselves and fade into the background. What remains is space. Space for stillness. Space for rest. Space for the slow approach of sleep. The heaviness of the body grows stronger. Shoulders press into the bed with ease. Arms and legs lie where they are, free of the need to move. The back is supported. The chest rises and falls steadily. The neck is aligned, and the head is held gently. Each part of the body understands it can stay exactly as it is. Nothing needs to shift. Nothing needs to adjust. The environment is already perfect for rest. The quiet atmosphere expands. The dim light feels even softer now, as if the room itself is growing darker. In response to your calm, the blankets feel warmer, not in temperature but in presence, wrapping you more completely. The pillow feels deeper, holding the head more securely. Everything intensifies in comfort the longer you notice it, until you feel fully surrounded by the ease of the room. Sleep becomes closer with each breath. The eyelids are heavier now, no longer interested in holding themselves open. The jaw has loosened completely, the tongue resting softly in place. The arms and legs no longer feel separate. They feel like part of the surface beneath them, joined in heaviness. The warmth of the blanket spreads deeper into the body, reaching muscles and bones, signaling every layer of yourself to release. The head feels cradled, as though the pillow has shaped itself exactly for this moment. As you drift further, awareness begins to blur at the edges. Thoughts grow faint and fragmented. Images may appear and fade without coherence. The environment holds you steady while the mind loosens its grip on wakefulness. The dim light continues. The blankets continue. The pillow continues. Each detail keeping you safe as you move towards sleep. They do not change. They do not fade. They remain consistent while your awareness gently slips away. This space has no pressure. There is no need to achieve sleep. No need to seek it out. It will come naturally, because the body has already surrendered to stillness. The environment has created the path, and you are already walking it simply by resting here. Each breath is a step deeper. Each moment of stillness is another layer released. Sleep is not far. It is already here waiting, ready to carry you through the night. Soon, the dim light will not be noticed at all. The blankets will not be felt consciously. The pillow will not be thought of. They will still be there, holding you, but your awareness will be in another place. Dreams will take the stage, quiet and unhurried. The body will remain where it is, secure in its comfort, while the mind drifts into the deep landscape of sleep. For now, you linger in this final stage of wakefulness, where the room still exists clearly, and the body still feels its surroundings. This stage is gentle and brief, a crossing point between one state and another. The dim light, the warm blankets, the supportive pillow, all of them make this crossing smooth, free of resistance, free of disruption. They create a bridge to sleep, and you are already moving across it with ease. The night holds you, and you hold nothing. Breathing continues in its steady rhythm. The body rests in its comfortable weight, and the mind grows quieter with every second. The environment remains calm, guiding you gently without demand. All that remains is stillness, and from that stillness, sleep arises naturally. Chapter 5. Guide your attention to the rain, even and gentle tonight. The easiest way to quiet the mind is to let your awareness rest on something steady and natural. And tonight that steady presence is the gentle rain outside. Its rhythm is soft, unhurried, and constant, filling the space with a sound that is both simple and endlessly soothing. Each drop meets the earth, the roof, or the leaves, with a quiet touch, and together they form a chorus of calm. This sound asks nothing of you. It does not rise. It does not fall. It continues evenly, a companion through the night that carries you deeper into stillness. The rain moves across every surface, touching windows with faint taps, sliding down gutters in soft streams, and soaking into the soil below. The world outside grows softer under its touch, as if the rain is smoothing every edge, every corner, every sharpness. Listening to it now, your body responds instinctively. The shoulders fall lower, the chest feels lighter, and the mind begins to drift with the steady pattern. Breathing follows naturally, slower, deeper, finding its rhythm within the sound. Notice how the rain does not hurry. It falls at its own pace, and that pace is calm. There is no rush for the drops to reach the ground, no urgency in the way they gather together. They land, they rest, they join one another quietly. By giving attention to this even rhythm, you find yourself reflecting the same qualities. The pace of your own thoughts slows. The need to plan, to remember, or to think ahead fades. The present moment becomes enough, carried by the sound of rain that has no beginning and no end. The air around you feels cooler with the thought of rain. Even indoors, the imagination can sense the freshness outside, as though the atmosphere itself has been washed clean. This freshness enters with each breath you take, subtle yet clear. It feels like renewal with every inhale, and with each exhale comes release, a letting go of the heaviness collected throughout the day. The body begins to trust this rhythm, to know that as long as the rain continues, peace will continue too. Listening closely, you can pick out the layers of the sound. Some drops fall heavier, creating a deeper tone. Others are light, scattering softly against the surfaces they meet. Together they weave into one consistent soundscape, neither loud nor faint, but perfectly balanced. This layered music calms the nervous system, grounding you in a sense of safety. It reminds you that outside, the world is quiet and still, that night has arrived and is holding everything steady. Your mind follows the pathways of water as it moves. You can picture streams running down windows, gathering at the edges, then falling again in small cascades. You imagine the way leaves catch droplets bending slightly under their weight before letting them slip down. The ground accepts each drop without resistance, becoming darker, softer, more complete with every moment. These images are not sharp or vivid. They are simple, muted impressions that help you sink deeper into calm. The sound of rain has always been connected with rest, because its rhythm is so similar to the rhythm of the body at ease. The steady pace reflects the steady beat of the heart when it slows. The endless continuation mirrors the breath when it is smooth and unbroken. By listening, your body remembers how to match that pattern. The nervous energy of the day dissolves into alignment with the unchanging flow outside. Now imagine the wider scene. The entire night sky is filled with falling rain. Clouds stretch across the horizon, covering everything in a soft veil. Beneath them, the land receives the gift of water evenly. Houses, trees, and pathways all share the same sound, all touched by the same rhythm. This awareness creates a sense of unity, of being part of something larger, yet calm and unthreatening. The rain connects every surface it touches, and through attention it connects you too, gently reminding you that you are safe in the larger stillness of the night. The body feels heavier with each passing moment, more grounded, more supported. The rain adds weight, not in burden but in comfort, pressing the world into quiet stability. Muscles continue to soften, Joints loosen, and the mind feels as though it is sinking deeper into the sound itself. Soon it becomes difficult to tell where the body ends and the sound begins, because everything is aligned in one steady rhythm. Thoughts that do arise are washed away by the rain. They do not linger. They may appear for a moment, but the sound surrounds them, dissolves them, and carries them away. What remains is only the gentle continuation of drops falling in countless patterns, none of which need to be tracked or understood. The rain takes care of itself, and in noticing it, you are freed from the need to take care of anything else. The mind begins to wander with the sound, not in racing thought but in quiet images that soothe. A cottage roof glistening with rain. A quiet path, darkened with wet stone. A tree standing in stillness, as drops slide from branch to branch. These images come slowly, and fade slowly, like soft echoes of the sound itself. They ask for nothing. They only add to the calm. Breathing has now settled into its most natural state. Each inhale is quiet and smooth. Each exhale longer and deeper. The sound of the rain merges with this breath, creating a perfect cycle. The air outside falls in drops. The air inside rises and falls in your chest. Both continue without interruption, creating a sense of timelessness. Hours could pass in this rhythm, and they would feel like minutes, because in calm there is no need to measure time. As your awareness stays with the rain, the body continues to drift closer to sleep. The eyelids are fully heavy now. The arms and legs feel as though they are part of the bed itself. The back presses gently into the surface below, and the head rests as though it is floating. Every part of you is being guided inward, away from thought, toward the simplicity of stillness. The rain outside will not stop for the night. It will continue in its even, gentle pattern, and that knowledge creates comfort. Even as your mind begins to move away from wakefulness, you know the sound will be there, surrounding you, protecting you, and carrying you into dreams. Its rhythm will not break. It will last as long as you need it to. Now the line between listening and sleeping begins to blur. The rain is still there, but it is no longer separate. It becomes part of the background of your inner world, just as it is part of the outer world. The sound fades gently into the distance. Even though it continues steadily, your awareness drifts further away, leaving the rain to hold you. The final thought that lingers is one of safety, of knowing that this night, with its steady rain, is complete. The body is ready. The mind is quiet. The sound is eternal. Sleep is not coming. It has already begun. Softly, naturally, without effort, guided by the gentle rain that continues outside. Chapter 6. Imagine Belle walking beneath umbrellas and lanterns in quiet streets. The most calming stories are the ones that move slowly, inviting you to notice each detail, as if time itself has softened. Tonight, picture Belle stepping into a quiet street, where the rain continues to fall with a steady rhythm. Above her, an umbrella opens, shielding her from the drops, while lanterns glow along the path, casting circles of golden light across the wet stones. The air is still, except for the sound of water, and the village rests in a hush that feels safe and familiar. Belle moves forward with unhurried steps, her presence part of the night's gentle atmosphere. The umbrella above her is wide and steady. Raindrops touch its surface, creating a soft patter that blends with the larger sound of rainfall around her. The lanterns lining the street shine with a warm glow, their light reflecting off puddles and making the ground sparkle in patches of yellow and amber. Each pool of light connects to the next, forming a pathway through the dimness. The scene is neither bright nor dark, but perfectly balanced, giving her all she needs to see without disturbing the calm of night. Her shoes meet the cobblestones with light taps, softened further by water. Each step creates small ripples as her foot brushes through shallow puddles. These ripples spread outward, disappearing almost as soon as they begin, joining the rain that continues to fall from above. Her pace is even and gentle, not quickened by urgency, not slowed by hesitation. She simply walks, present with the sound of her steps, the sight of the lanterns, and the steady cover of her umbrella. The buildings along the street stand quietly, their shutters closed, their windows glowing faintly with light from inside. Curtains move slightly with the breeze, suggesting warmth and rest behind the walls. The air smells of damp stone and wood, freshened by rain, carrying a simple clarity that soothes the senses. Belle breathes in, feeling the freshness touch her chest, and breathes out, releasing any remnants of the day. Her breath becomes part of the rhythm around her, joining the sound of water and the stillness of the village. A gentle breeze moves now and then, swaying the lanterns, just enough to make their light shift across the ground. Shadows stretch and change shape, then return to stillness when the air quiets again. The umbrella rustles faintly in her hand, drops sliding down its edges to fall onto the stones below. The motion is small, but it connects her more deeply to the rhythm of the night. She feels safe, steady, and guided, as if every step is supported by the calm world around her. She notices how the rain touches everything equally. It runs down rooftops, gathers along gutters, and trickles through narrow channels between the stones. It coats leaves on trees and soaks the soil in gardens. Every surface glistens with a thin sheen, reflecting lantern light in scattered fragments. This even touch of the rain makes the street feel unified, every part of it sharing in the same calm. Belle's steps blend into this unity, her presence natural within the larger rhythm of the night. Her umbrella shields her from the direct drops, but the sound of rain is all around, never distant. It surrounds her like a gentle wall of sound, filling the air with its soft chorus. She listens without effort, letting the layers of water on rooftops, stones, and leaves carry her deeper into peace. Her mind feels clear, as though the rain has washed away thoughts before they can settle. What remains is only this walk, this night, this calm. The lanterns continue to light her way, steady flames sheltered by glass. Their glow reflects in her eyes, catching moments of brightness before fading again into shadow. Each light feels like a marker along her path, guiding her forward without demand. She does not wonder where the street ends or where it leads. The walk itself is enough, and the simple act of noticing each step brings her into quiet presence. Belle adjusts the umbrella slightly, feeling its handle firm in her hand. The rain slides off its surface in streams, falling to the side instead of touching her. She hears the difference in sound between drops striking the umbrella and drops striking the stones, a subtle variety that adds depth to the atmosphere. Every sound is soft, unbroken, and steady, a collection of small rhythms forming one larger harmony. Her dress brushes lightly with each step, fabric shifting against her legs in time with her movement. It absorbs some of the night air, carrying the scent of rain. Her hair rests neatly beneath the umbrella, dry and smooth, shielded from the weather. The small details of her body's movement, join with the environment, creating a picture of ease and balance. There is no resistance, no tension, only flow. She pauses for a moment beneath one of the lanterns, looking at the way its light spreads across the wet stones. The reflections shimmer, broken by raindrops landing in puddles, creating shifting patterns that last only seconds before disappearing. The beauty of these fleeting images rests not in their permanence, but in their passing. She observes them without needing them to remain, then continues her walk, content in the rhythm of change. The silence of the street is not empty, but full of presence. Every house, every lantern, every stone feels alive with quiet. The absence of voices, wheels, or footsteps makes her own presence more vivid, yet never out of place. She belongs to the scene as much as the rain, as much as the lantern light. This belonging brings a sense of deep peace, a reminder that quiet moments are just as important as the busy ones of the day. As she walks further, the street narrows slightly. Trees lining the edges. Their branches stretch overhead, catching rain and letting it fall in larger drops. At irregular intervals, these heavier drops meet the ground with a deeper sound, adding variety to the chorus of lighter rain. The canopy of branches mingles with the umbrella above her, creating an extra layer of shelter. She feels the closeness of nature and architecture blending, both softened by the rain. The air grows cooler as she continues, but the steady pace of her steps keeps her body comfortable. The rhythm of walking keeps warmth circulating, and the umbrella continues to protect her. The lanterns now appear farther apart, their glow forming islands of light in the dimness. She walks through shadow and light, each shift adding to the calming pattern. The street eventually opens into a small square, where a fountain stands in the center. Rain falls into its basin, joining the water already there, making ripples that spread outward in overlapping circles. Lanterns surround the square, their reflections visible on the wet stone floor. Belle pauses again, watching the fountain, listening to the sound of water joining water. The rain above and the fountain below create a layered harmony, both steady, both calm. Standing in this square, umbrella above, lanterns around, and fountain before her, Belle feels an even deeper quiet. The night holds her completely, wrapped in the presence of water, light, and stillness. There is no thought of destination. There is no need for action. There is only this moment, where the gentle rain and glowing lanterns make the world complete. Her walk continues, but it does not matter where it leads. Every step is already part of the rest she seeks. The night goes on. The rain continues, and Belle remains within it. Her presence aligned with the steady rhythm outside. Her path is simple, her steps are steady, and her heart is calm. The lanterns, the umbrella, and the quiet street are all companions in this journey into peace. And as the rain falls evenly, she knows it will carry her forward, guiding her deeper into the gentle stillness of night. Chapter 7. Describe her calm steps. Shoes meeting puddles with soft ripples. The most soothing way to follow a story is to notice the smallest details, the ones that slow everything down and help the mind find calm. And tonight those details are found in the quiet sound of Belle's steps as she walks through the rain. Each time her shoe touches the ground, the puddle beneath it shifts, creating circles that ripple outward, gentle waves on still water. These ripples do not last long. They fade almost as soon as they appear. But while they exist, they add to the quiet beauty of her journey. Her steps are neither hurried nor loud. They are measured, steady, and soft, blending seamlessly into the rhythm of the night. The cobblestones beneath her are smooth with rain, their surface shining in the glow of lantern light. When her shoe presses against them, the water gathers at the edges and then flows back into place as she moves forward. The sound is delicate, a faint splash that never breaks the silence, only adds texture to it. The repetition of her steps, one after another, creates a rhythm of its own, a walking pace that mirrors the rainfall above. The night feels synchronized, her movements aligned with the environment around her. The puddles she meets vary in size. Some are shallow, reflecting lanterns and perfect mirrors that break only when she crosses them. Others are wider, scattering her reflection in small waves before smoothing out again. She does not avoid them, nor does she deliberately seek them. They are simply part of the path, part of the experience of walking through a quiet village in the rain. Each step is its own moment, unique yet connected, forming a chain of calm sounds that follow her down the street. Her shoes are practical, suited for walking. They carry her weight evenly, meeting the ground with ease. They do not echo or strike harshly, because the rain has softened the stones, cushioning the impact. The soles brush through water, and the droplets move aside gently, landing again without noise. This contact between shoe and puddle feels natural, unforced, and continuous, reminding her that every step is another chance to settle into the stillness of night. The sound of her footsteps carries in the quiet air. Not far, just enough to accompany her as she goes. When she passes through smaller puddles, the sound is a soft patter, almost hidden beneath the rainfall. When the puddles are deeper, the sound grows rounder, more noticeable, though never intrusive. Each sound dissolves quickly, absorbed by the greater rhythm of the rain. Nothing lingers, nothing interrupts. Everything blends into one seamless atmosphere of calm. Belle's body reflects the gentleness of her steps. Her arms remain relaxed at her sides, one hand steady on the umbrella handle, the other free. Her posture is upright yet soft, her shoulders not tense, her movements unhurried. The evenness of her steps shows her inner calm, a state of mind that mirrors the quiet world around her. Walking becomes more than movement. It becomes an expression of the peace she feels. Lanterns shine above, their light spilling onto the puddles she passes. Each reflection ripples when she steps, turning straight lines of light into wavering shapes that shift and return. These brief distortions make the puddles look alive, as though they too are breathing with her steps. The effect is soothing, a reminder of how every action, even the smallest, creates change, and how change can be gentle and beautiful. Her pace does not falter. The shoes meet the ground again and again, each sound familiar, each movement predictable, creating a sense of stability. There is comfort in this repetition, in knowing that one step will always follow another, that the rhythm will remain steady. This is how calm is built, not in sudden gestures, but in the slow continuation of simple acts. Walking, listening, noticing. The rain continues around her, falling evenly on rooftops, streets, and gardens. Its sound never stops, and her footsteps join it like an added note in the larger music of the night. The ripples in the puddles match the ripples in her mind, as thoughts fade, appearing briefly, then smoothing out again. The entire scene becomes a reflection of inner stillness, shaped by nothing more than walking calmly through the rain. As she moves forward, the puddles begin to merge, forming wider sheets of water along the stones. Her steps send ripples further now, across larger surfaces, distorting whole reflections of lanterns and windows. The effect feels deeper, more expansive, as though her presence is leaving a wider mark on the night. Yet even these ripples fade quickly, leaving everything still again. The night does not resist her. It accepts her, and in that acceptance, she finds comfort. Her ears notice the subtle difference between the rain's tapping and the water's movement under her shoes. One is continuous, falling from above, while the other is momentary, created by her own movement. Together they create harmony, a conversation between the environment and her presence within it. Neither is louder than the other. Neither interrupts the other. They exist together, blending into the same quiet world. The path narrows briefly, lined with gardens where water collects along the edges. She steps carefully here, not because she fears disturbance, but because the ground asks for attentiveness. The puddles are deeper, the stones slicker, but her steps remain calm. Shoes press down, ripples spread, water shifts aside, and she continues forward, steady and secure. The consistency of her movement is what keeps her balanced, and the night rewards her steadiness with peace. As the walk goes on, her awareness drifts deeper into the rhythm of her own footsteps. The sound of shoes meeting puddles becomes almost hypnotic, each splash marking the passage of time in a way that feels timeless. The world narrows to this one experience. Rain above, water below, steps in between. This narrowing of focus is not confinement, but release, freeing her from all thoughts outside of this walk. Her breath is quiet now, matching her steps, rising and falling in time with her movements. The body feels light, supported by the simple action of walking forward. Each exhale seems to leave more tension behind. Each inhale seems to draw in more calm. The puddles continue to ripple, and she continues to move through them, each detail blending into the next. The lanterns thin out as she moves further from the center of the street, but the glow of their light still reaches her from behind. Ahead, shadows grow deeper, the path darker, but the rhythm of her steps provides all the guidance she needs. Shoes meet stone, water shifts, ripples form, and she moves forward without hesitation. Her trust lies in the rhythm itself, steady and unbroken, carrying her deeper into night. The walk feels endless in the most comforting way. There is no need to arrive anywhere, no urgency to end the journey. Each step is its own destination, each ripple its own conclusion. Belle walks not to reach, but simply to be, to exist within the calm world the rain has created. Her shoes continue to meet the puddles, the ripples continue to spread, and the night continues to hold her. Eventually, the sound of her steps fades into the larger sound of rain. The ripples become indistinguishable from the natural movement of water. Her presence merges with the environment completely, until it is difficult to tell where she ends and the night begins. The journey continues, but it no longer matters how far she has come or how far remains. All that matters is the calm rhythm of walking, the softness of ripples, and the endless stillness of the rain-filled street. Chapter 8. Picture a distant castle, windows glowing, welcoming shelter from rain. The most comforting image on a rainy night is the sight of a warm and steady light shining in the distance, promising safety, rest, and welcome. Imagine now, far beyond, the quiet streets where Belle has walked. A castle rising against the dim horizon, its walls stand tall and sure, softened by the mist of rain, and its windows glow with golden light. Each window is a small beacon in the darkness, shining steadily as if to guide weary travelers toward comfort. The castle does not appear cold or unreachable. Instead, it radiates calm invitation, its presence a reminder that shelter and warmth are waiting within. The glow of the windows spreads outward, touching the rain-soaked landscape with faint reflections. Drops of water catch the light as they fall, scattering it in tiny sparks before fading back into shadow. Puddles along the ground mirror the castle's brightness, creating shimmering images that ripple gently with each new drop of rain. The contrast between the dark sky and the glowing windows brings a sense of balance. Night holds its depth, but light offers its reassurance. The two coexist in harmony, making the scene peaceful rather than sharp. The path leading toward the castle is softened by water, cobblestones, gleaming beneath lanterns, and the far-off glow. Every step closer feels easier, not because the road is short, but because the promise of safety ahead is so clear. The rain continues, but its presence no longer feels heavy. It becomes part of the atmosphere that carries Belle forward, part of the music that accompanies her journey. The sound blends with the sight, forming one calm experience. Rain falling, windows glowing, steps moving steadily toward shelter. The architecture of the castle emerges slowly. As she approaches, towers rise into the sky, their tops softened by drifting mist. Walls stretch wide and firm, holding centuries of quiet presence. Despite their size, they do not feel intimidating. They feel grounded, protective and patient. The rain slides down the stone, darkening its color, and lanterns along the walls add extra warmth to the glow of the windows. The entire structure seems alive with stillness, awake in the night, yet resting at the same time. Each glowing window tells its own quiet story. Some shine brighter, as if fires burn stronger inside. Others are softer, flickering gently, hinting at candles placed on tables or beside chairs. Together they create the sense of life within, a reminder that warmth and company exist beyond the walls. Belle notices how the light seems to reach out through the rain, offering comfort even before she steps inside. The invitation is wordless but strong, carried in the steady glow itself. The closer she moves, the more details appear. The main gate is tall, but its ironwork is ornate rather than harsh. Patterns winding through the bars like vines frozen in metal. Water collects along its edges, dripping in steady streams. Torches burn at either side, flames steady despite the rain, their smoke rising and dissolving into the mist. The pathway leading up to the gate shines with water, each stone reflecting the golden light that spills down from the windows above. The effect is soothing, as though the entire road has been prepared to guide her inside. The rain feels different near the castle. It is not lighter, but the presence of the walls and towers gives the sound a deeper resonance, echoing gently against the stone. Drops strike the surfaces and create faint rhythms, low tones blending with the higher notes of rain on leaves and puddles. This harmony of sounds deepens the calm, surrounding Belle in layers of gentle music. As she pauses before the entrance, looking up, the windows seem endless, stretching across floors and towers, each one glowing steadily. The higher ones are blurred by mist, their light faint but visible, like stars caught close to Earth. The lower ones are clearer, their glow sharper, showing shapes of rooms within. Curtains move faintly behind some, shadows pass behind others, but all hold the same sense of peace. The castle feels awake but calm, alive but resting, welcoming but not urgent. The draw of the castle is not only its shelter from the rain, but the feeling it creates. A place where stillness and comfort exist side by side. The world outside may be wet and cool, but inside there will be warmth, dryness, and quiet company. This contrast deepens the sense of safety, reminding her that journeys always lead to places of rest. The castle becomes more than stone and light. It becomes a symbol of arrival, of having walked far enough to now be received into ease. Belle continues forward, umbrella steady above her, steps measured on the wet stone. Her shoes create small ripples in the puddles as she walks, each one catching a glimpse of the golden glow. She notices how the reflections stretch and bend across the water, creating a moving image of the castle beneath her feet. It feels as though she is already part of the warmth, even before entering the gate. The rain cannot remove this light. It can only scatter it, spread it, and carry it further into the night. The closer she comes to the gate, the stronger the sense of stillness grows. The torches burn without flicker. The windows glow without dimming. The rain continues without change. Nothing rushes. Nothing shifts suddenly. Everything holds steady. This steadiness is what makes the scene so calming. It is as though the castle has always been here and always will be. Its light constant, no matter what storms or nights may come. Pausing again, Belle looks up at the largest window above the entrance. Its glow is brighter than the rest, suggesting a hall filled with firelight. She imagines the warmth within, the scent of wood smoke, the sight of chairs arranged near a fire. The thought itself is enough to soften her further, to release more tension from her body. Her shoulders ease, her breath slows, and her steps feel lighter. The castle has not yet taken her in, but already it is changing her state, simply by being present in the night. The rain begins to feel like part of the welcome. It is no longer something she walks through to reach shelter, but something that enhances the beauty of the light ahead. Drops falling past the glow sparkle briefly before vanishing into the dark. The wet stones reflect brightness that would not exist without water. The sound of rain against the walls makes the silence inside seem even more inviting. Everything works together. Rain, light, stone, and fire, creating a scene of completeness. As Belle finally approaches the gate, the castle seems to lean closer, not in size but in presence. The glow of the windows surrounds her, filling her vision, touching her with warmth. Even before the doors open, the sound of rain continues, steady and endless. But within that sound now lives the promise of stillness. The castle stands as a reminder that no matter how far one walks, there will always be places of rest, places of comfort, places where the night itself becomes gentle. The vision of this distant castle, with its glowing windows and its steady invitation, is enough to carry the mind into ease. The image lingers, even as the body begins to grow heavier, even as the breath deepens, even as the edges of awareness soften. The rain continues outside. The glow continues within. And somewhere in between, rest becomes inevitable. The journey has led here, and here is a place of calm. Chapter 9. Invite the gate to open slowly. Hinges smooth. Pathway shining. The most powerful moment of arrival is when a door opens. Not with haste, but with the deliberate patience of something that has waited for you all along. Picture now the great gate of the castle standing tall before Belle rains sliding down its ironwork in thin glistening streams. The air is cool and hushed, touched only by the steady patter of water. And the glow from nearby torches paints the wet metal with golden highlights. Slowly, almost silently, the heavy gate begins to shift. Its motion smooth, its hinges turning with practiced ease. There is no groan of strain, no sudden jolt, only the calm unfolding of an entrance that welcomes rather than resists. As the gate parts, a pathway appears, shining under the rainfall. Stones laid long ago gleam under the torchlight, water pooling lightly in their grooves, creating tiny mirrors that reflect the light above. The path stretches inward, not dark or imposing, but luminous, as if the rain has polished it for this very moment. Each drop that falls onto the stones ripples outward in circles, catching firelight and scattering it across the ground. The effect is gentle and mesmerizing, guiding the eyes forward and offering a sense of invitation. The hinges continue their work with quiet dignity. Each inch they open feels measured, as if the castle itself is taking its time, ensuring the welcome is calm and unhurried. The rhythm of the rain blends with the faint sound of iron moving against stone, forming a harmony that fills the night air. Belle stands under her umbrella, watching as the entrance grows wider, the space beyond slowly revealed, the pathway glowing brighter with every inch of progress. When the gate finally rests open, it does not stand as a barrier any longer, but as a frame. Through it, the inner courtyard lies visible, bathed in soft light from lanterns mounted along the walls. The rain continues to fall, yet within the shelter of the high stone structures, its sound changes. It becomes muted, echoing gently against arches and windows, creating a softer chorus than outside the gate. Belle feels the shift immediately, as though she has stepped closer to a heart of stillness. Her first step onto the pathway is deliberate. The sole of her shoe meets the wet stone, and ripples move outward in the thin sheet of water that covers the ground. The reflection of the torch above her bends, shimmers, and then smooths itself out again. The pathway feels steady beneath her, every stone secure, worn smooth from countless steps across time. Rain continues to fall gently, but the glowing reflections make the path appear less like stone and more like a ribbon of light, leading inward. Each step forward carries a new detail. Moss grows in the seams between stones, darkened by moisture, soft against the edges of her shoes. Water runs in narrow streams along the sides of the path, trickling toward drains carved into the courtyard floor. The sound of these streams adds another layer to the night's music, softer than the rain, quieter than the hinges, yet present enough to deepen the sense of calm. Belle notices each element without effort, her attention flowing naturally from one detail to the next. The open gate behind her no longer feels distant, but part of the scene. Its ironwork glistens under the rain, the torchlight shimmering across its patterns. What once was closed has now become part of her passage. supporting her entry without drawing attention to itself. Its presence lingers as reassurance. The castle has opened, and she is meant to walk this way. The pathway stretches further inward, leading past tall walls that hold rows of windows glowing faintly with interior light. These windows do not call loudly, but they add warmth to the air, as though each one contributes a portion of safety to the courtyard. The stones beneath her feet continue to shine, each one alive with rain and reflection, carrying her forward without hesitation. The steady rhythm of her steps and the endless fall of water form a lull that eases the last traces of tension from her body. She pauses again, noticing how the rain collects on the pathway. Small droplets cling to the uneven surfaces, then roll down to join the shallow streams at the sides. Each movement is slow, deliberate, and quiet, echoing the pace of the gate's opening. Nothing rushes here. Nothing demands speed. Everything unfolds with patience, allowing her to rest within the moment itself. Above her, the high arch of the gate continues to glow with torchlight, its stone darkened by water, but made beautiful by the way it reflects the flickering flame. The lanterns within the courtyard shine steadily, their glass surfaces streaked with droplets, but unbroken in their glow. Together they form a canopy of light that blends seamlessly with the rain-polished pathway. Belle walks beneath this canopy, umbrella steady above her, each step pulling her further into the embrace of the castle. The smoothness of the hinges lingers in her mind. The way they moved without resistance. The way they opened not as a defense, but as an invitation. This memory stays with her as she walks. It feels as though the castle has been expecting her, as though the gate has opened for her alone. This thought does not carry weight or pressure. It simply adds to the feeling of being welcomed into stillness. As she continues along the pathway, she notices the scent of wet stone mixed with faint traces of wood smoke drifting from inside. The combination deepens the sense of warmth awaiting her, balancing the coolness of the rain with the promise of fire. Her breath is steady, her steps even, and her body lighter than when she began the walk. The shining stones beneath her seem to carry her forward as much as she moves herself, guiding her deeper into calm. At the center of the courtyard, the path widens into a larger circle of stone. Rain collects here in shallow pools, each one reflecting the glow of nearby lanterns. Belle pauses once more, watching the reflections shift with the ripples caused by falling drops. The effect is mesmerizing, light bending, moving, and returning to stillness again and again. It feels like a mirror of her own state, thoughts appearing briefly and then settling into quiet. The open gate remains visible behind her, now framed by the rain beyond. The contrast is striking. Outside lies the endless rhythm of rainfall on the open world, while within lies a sheltered space of glowing light and gentle echoes. She has stepped across the threshold, moving from one atmosphere into another, and the change is soothing. It is as though the act of walking through the gate has also guided her mind through a gate of its own, into deeper stillness. Every detail of this moment, the smooth hinges, the shining pathway, the glowing windows, the muted sound of rain, comes together to create one unified calm. Nothing stands apart. Nothing distracts. Everything belongs. Belle feels it as she stands in the courtyard. A sense of completeness, of being exactly where she is meant to be. The castle has welcomed her. The rain has softened for her, and the night has carried her gently to this place of rest. As her awareness lingers here, The environment holds steady. The rain continues to fall. The torches continue to burn. The reflections continue to ripple and fade. The world has no need to change. It simply remains in balance. A perfect scene of quiet shelter. Belle allows herself to release into this balance. Her body fully at ease. Her mind clear. Her breath slow. The open gate has done its work. And now all that remains is the calm of being within. Chapter 10. Enter the hall quietly. Candles steady. Air carrying warm bread. The most peaceful part of any journey is the moment you step inside and are welcomed by warmth, light, and a sense of belonging. And that is exactly what greets Belle as she crosses the threshold into the great hall of the castle. The sound of rain outside grows distant, fading into a muffled rhythm against the stone walls, while the air inside shifts, carrying with it the unmistakable scent of freshly baked bread. The fragrance is warm and earthy, a quiet comfort that fills the hall and reaches her before she takes her second step. Candles line the walls, each one burning with a steady flame. Their light does not flicker wildly, but glows evenly, creating pools of golden brightness along the edges of the room. Shadows fall gently between them, soft and non-threatening, giving the space a calm balance of light and dark. The flames illuminate details in the stone arches, rising high, carved patterns along doorways, and tapestries that add quiet color to the walls. Each candle contributes its part, small on its own but powerful together, turning the hall into a space that feels alive yet restful. Belle's shoes meet the polished floor, quietly, each step softened by the vastness of the room. The surface beneath her is cool and smooth, reflecting candlelight in faint glimmers as she walks further in. The sound of her steps is hushed. Blending into the larger silence, it feels as though the castle itself is holding its breath, respecting her arrival, offering her the chance to take in everything slowly. The air is warmer here than outside, wrapping around her with a subtle embrace. The scent of bread remains the strongest, carrying hints of yeast and flour mingled with the faint sweetness of butter. It is the kind of smell that signals nourishment and care, a reminder of kitchens at work, of meals prepared with patience. Alongside it comes the faint aroma of wood smoke, drifting in from a fire deeper within the hall. These scents combine to create an atmosphere that speaks of safety, of being cared for, of finding rest after travel. Belle lifts her gaze to the far end of the hall. A long table stretches across the space, its surface set with simple cloth and wooden bowls. The arrangement is not grand or intimidating but practical and welcoming, as though it is meant for company that values comfort over display. At the center of the table sits a basket of bread, steam rising faintly into the air, proof that it has only just come from the oven. The sight matches the fragrance that fills the room, grounding the sensory experience in something real and present. Candles placed along the table add to the warmth, their flames reflecting off polished wood. The soft glow makes the bread appear even more inviting, its crust golden and textured, the air around it heavy with promise. The scene is simple, but in its simplicity lies its power. Nothing is excessive. Nothing is overwhelming. Everything is arranged to make the hall feel like a place of comfort, rather than grandeur. As Belle walks further inside, she notices details she had not seen before. Tapestries along the walls depict scenes of quiet landscapes, fields of flowers, rolling hills, and rivers that wind calmly across the fabric. Their colors are muted, softened by age, yet they add a layer of life to the stone walls. Above her, beams of wood stretch across the ceiling, their grain dark and smooth, carrying the weight of the structure with quiet strength. The hall is vast, but each detail makes it feel lived in, cared for, and steady. The flames of the candles do not waver. Even though small drafts of air move through the hall, their steadiness adds to the sense of stillness, reminding her that here, time passes differently. Outside, the rain continues in its endless rhythm, but inside, the hall is set apart, a place where light and warmth remain constant. She pauses for a moment to take it in fully, to feel the shift between the damp night air and the inviting atmosphere of this room. Her body responds almost immediately. Shoulders soften further. Her jaw releases any lingering tightness, and her breath deepens without effort. The hall feels like a refuge, a space designed to allow release. The combination of candlelight, warmth, scent, and silence works together, soothing her in ways she did not need to ask for. Every sense is engaged, yet none are overwhelmed. The environment offers everything in balance. Nothing too sharp, nothing too faint. At the side of the hall, a fireplace glows with steady embers. Its flames are lower than the candles, but warmer in tone, sending heat across the room in slow waves. The sound of burning wood is faint but present, a gentle crackle that adds to the quiet symphony of the space. It joins the scent of bread, the glow of the candles, the smooth sound of her steps, and the soft hush of rain outside, completing the atmosphere in every detail. Belle steps closer to the long table, her eyes resting again on the bread at its center. The crust has split slightly, revealing the soft interior, steam curling upward in thin streams. The smell is fuller here, rich and grounding, carrying a memory of kitchens where meals are shared, where people gather not in formality, but in comfort. Though the hall is vast, this simple presence of bread makes it feel intimate, like a home rather than a fortress. Her umbrella is closed now, water dripping from its edge onto the stone floor, adding another quiet rhythm to the hall. The sound is small, almost imperceptible, yet it fits. Every sound here fits, none disturbing the calm. The castle seems to know how to receive her, how to provide just enough detail to engage the senses without breaking the atmosphere of rest. Looking around, she sees smaller doors leading from the hall, each one glowing faintly with light beyond. They hint at kitchens, sitting rooms, and chambers filled with warmth. The hall, though large, is only the beginning, the entryway into a larger world of safety and stillness. For now, though, it is enough. Its openness, its glow, its scent, its silence, all of it forms the complete picture of arrival. Belle draws a deep breath, the air rich with fragrance and warmth, and lets it out slowly. The act feels natural, as if the hall itself has guided her into the rhythm. Her body feels settled now, anchored, present. She no longer thinks of the rain outside, or the path she walked. Her attention rests here, on the quiet glow of candles, the softness of light against stone, the warm air filled with bread and fire. This is what it means to arrive, to be held, to be safe. The hall does not change as she stands within it. The flames continue to burn, the bread continues to steam, the air continues to carry warmth. Nothing is lost. Nothing fades. Time stretches in a way that feels timeless, unhurried. In this space there is no need for thought of past or future. There is only the calm reality of now, a moment made whole by the simplest details. The act of entering quietly has become more than just a step across a threshold. It has become a shift of being. From rain to warmth, from night to light, from movement to stillness. Each sense has been welcomed. Each part of her has been received. She stands now not only inside a castle, but inside a sanctuary of rest, where even the smallest detail, the flame of a candle, the scent of bread, the softness of air, works together to guide her deeper into peace. And as she stands in the hall, breathing in the warmth, feeling the calm, and listening to the quiet symphony around her, she knows that this is where rest begins, where night becomes shelter, and where her body can finally surrender into ease. Chapter 11. Meet the beast gently, voice soft, eyes thoughtful, posture calm. The most moving encounters are not those filled with grandeur, but those shaped by gentleness. And that is what unfolds as Belle steps further into the hall and sees the figure waiting for her. The beast stands quietly, not hidden, not looming, but present in a way that feels grounded and calm. His posture is upright, yet relaxed. His arms resting naturally at his sides. His weight balanced, not tense. There is no sharpness in his stance. Instead, there is steadiness, the kind that tells her he is neither hurried nor defensive. The air between them is filled with quiet expectation, yet no pressure. His voice breaks the silence first, but it comes softly, lower than hers but never harsh. The sound carries warmth, a tone that surprises her by how unforced it feels. There is no growl, no command, only a measured cadence, like someone who chooses each word with care. The way he speaks creates space, as if every phrase leaves room for calm to settle in. It does not disturb the atmosphere of the hall. It becomes part of it, blending with the glow of candles and the faint hum of fire in the distance. Belle notices his eyes as he speaks. They are not fixed in intensity, but thoughtful, shifting with subtle movements that reveal patience and awareness. Their depth does not feel intimidating. It feels attentive, like someone who sees carefully, without judgment. His gaze rests on her with steady kindness, not piercing, not searching, only observing with quiet curiosity. It is an expression that tells her he is present in this moment fully, not distracted by anything beyond it. The hall itself seems to lean into their meeting. The candles burn with their steady glow, casting soft shadows across the beast's features, highlighting the calm lines of his face. The scent of bread still lingers, grounding the atmosphere with its warmth. The faint sound of rain outside remains in the background, softened now by stone walls. All of these details support the gentleness of this encounter, making it easier to trust, easier to settle, easier to see clearly. Belle's breath slows as she listens to his voice. The tone carries through the room evenly, neither raised nor lowered unnecessarily. It feels steady, like a low hum that could continue for hours without strain. She feels her own body respond, tension loosening in her chest, her shoulders dropping further as the calm of his manner spreads outward. Each sound he makes carries more reassurance than the words themselves, proof that presence often communicates more than language. The beast moves slightly, a small shift of posture that shows openness. His shoulders remain even, his stance balanced, his hands unclenched. The lack of aggression or force is clear, and the hall reflects it back, amplifying the sense of safety. His breathing is visible in the rise and fall of his chest, slow and steady, matching the rhythm of the moment. This steady breathing makes him appear more human than beast, reminding Belle that behind appearances lies something deeper: patience, restraint, and thoughtfulness. She speaks in return, her voice soft, her tone calm, and he listens fully. His eyes remain steady on hers, not interrupting, not rushing, not anticipating her words before they are spoken. He allows silence between them, a silence that is not awkward, but restful. This shared quiet becomes as meaningful as the words themselves. It creates the sense of an exchange built not on noise or urgency, but on the balance of attention and care. The fire at the edge of the hall adds its presence to the moment, crackling softly as embers shift and glow. Its warmth spreads subtly, reaching them both without drawing focus. The sound of the fire joins the beast's voice, the rain outside, and the stillness of the hall, all forming one layered atmosphere. Nothing interrupts, nothing disturbs, everything supports the calmness of this meeting. Belle notices the details of his expression. Though his features are strong, his brow is not furrowed, his mouth not hardened. There is softness there, a calm acceptance that reveals more than any words could. His eyes hold thought, as though he is not only watching but also reflecting inwardly. He is present, but he is also deep in consideration, a dual focus that makes his presence feel rich and layered. The distance between them narrows slowly, not through sudden movement, but through a natural shift of attention. They both stand more at ease, both grounded by the same environment, both carried by the same quiet. The meeting feels less like two strangers, and more like two beings sharing the same stillness, acknowledging it through simple presence rather than dramatic gesture. Belle feels her body soften further as she remains near him. The careful tone of his voice, the patience in his eyes, and the calmness of his stance create an atmosphere that eases her completely. The initial weight of unfamiliarity fades, replaced by the recognition that she is safe. There is nothing hidden here, nothing forced, only gentleness, offered steadily, without condition. The beast shifts again, but the movement is slow, deliberate, unthreatening. His hand rises slightly, not to command, but to gesture toward the warmth of the fire. The motion is natural, graceful even, showing an awareness of the space around him. His presence is large, yet he carries it with restraint, careful not to overtake the moment. This consideration speaks as clearly as his voice, showing her that calm is his choice, his nature in this meeting. The hall continues to support them. The air remains rich with the smell of bread and wood smoke. The candle flames stay steady, painting light across the stone. The rain outside is softer now, distant, no longer the dominant sound, but still present enough to create a backdrop. Each of these details reminds Belle that she is in a space shaped for quiet, and the one she has met is part of that quiet, not separate from it. As they stand there, Belle begins to feel her mind drift, not in distraction, but in surrender to the calmness of the encounter. The beast does not press her with questions or demand her attention. He allows the silence to stretch, And within that silence, she finds herself breathing more evenly, standing more comfortably, and letting go of thoughts that had clung tightly earlier. His patience becomes her own, his steadiness reflected in her. The encounter deepens, without words. The shared air, the mutual awareness, the subtle rhythm of two bodies at rest. All of it creates connection. She no longer feels as though she is standing before a stranger. She feels as though she is standing with someone who understands the value of stillness, the strength of calm, the importance of presence. The hall remains timeless. As this continues, minutes could pass or hours, but the environment does not change. Candles glow, fire hums, rain falls faintly, and their meeting continues in its steady rhythm. Nothing is rushed. Nothing is demanded. The gentleness of the beast, the thoughtfulness in his eyes, and the calmness of his posture shape the moment into one that feels eternal. Belle senses that this is the beginning of something different. Not a story of fear or force, but of quiet recognition. She does not need to name it, and neither does he. The simple act of meeting like this with gentleness, patience, and calm is enough. The body understands it, the heart accepts it, and the mind finally releases its need to analyze it. The meeting is complete in itself, and as they stand there, voices soft, eyes steady, posture calm, the hall holds them in stillness, and the night beyond fades further into distance. The rain may continue outside, but inside, only warmth remains. Chapter 12. Accept his offered chair. Fabric comfortable. Fire humming nearby softly. The most restful moments often arrive in the simplest gestures. And Belle feels this truth when the beast, calm and unhurried, offers her a chair near the fire. There is no formality in his action, only quiet courtesy. As though the hall itself has shaped this invitation, the chair waits by the hearth, its wooden frame polished by use, its cushion broad and welcoming. The fabric is soft beneath her fingers as she touches it, and when she lowers herself into its seat, the chair receives her weight with ease. It does not resist. It does not creak. It simply holds her in a steady embrace, offering support from every side. The cushion molds beneath her, neither too firm nor too soft, striking that perfect balance that allows the body to relax fully. Her legs find rest against the floor. Her arms settle naturally at her sides, and her back leans into the chair as though it has been shaped just for her. The fabric feels smooth against her skin, a texture that adds to the comfort without distraction. It surrounds her in a sensation of warmth that joins seamlessly with the glow of the fire nearby. The fire hums steadily, its flames, low but lively, dancing in quiet patterns across the logs. The sound is not sharp but soft, a series of crackles and whispers that blend with the silence of the hall. Each spark that shifts in the hearth adds to the rhythm, as steady as breathing, as calming as rain. Its warmth spreads outward, reaching Belle in waves that touch her face and hands, sinking further, until her body feels wrapped not only by the chair, but also by the air itself. The contrast to the cool dampness of the world outside deepens the sense of refuge. Belle closes her eyes for a moment, listening to the fire. The warmth against her skin and the cushion beneath her create a harmony of comfort. The chair's fabric breathes with her, its softness steady and consistent, holding her securely Without pressing too strongly, she feels her body releasing another layer of tension. Her muscles melting further into ease. Her shoulders lowering until they no longer carry any weight at all. The glow from the hearth stretches across the floor in shifting patterns. Shadows lengthen and retreat as the flames move, creating a calm dance of light that fills the hall without disturbing its stillness. The flickering glow touches the wooden arms of the chair, painting them with golden highlights, and then moves on to trace the edges of the tapestries and walls. The light is alive, but its motion is soothing rather than distracting. Watching it feels like watching breath itself. Slow, continuous, steady. The beast remains near, but he does not hover. His presence is calm, respectful, giving her space to settle into the chair without pressure. His breathing is slow, audible only in the silence, and it joins the rhythm of the fire in the background. Together, their combined presence, the calm host, the steady hearth, the welcoming chair, forms a cocoon of safety around Belle. She no longer thinks of the rain outside. She no longer remembers the dampness of her walk. She is here, and here is enough. Her hands rest lightly on the arms of the chair, fingers uncurling naturally, palms open. The position feels unforced, as though the body has found the alignment it always sought. Her legs stretch comfortably, feet grounded on the polished floor, the slight coolness of stone, balancing the warmth that rises from the fire. This balance deepens the sensation of rest. Nothing overwhelms. Nothing is lacking. The environment has arranged itself into harmony. The smell of the fire adds to the experience. A faint trace of wood smoke mingles with the lingering aroma of bread, weaving into the warm air. Together, these scents create a richness that feels nourishing without being heavy. Every breath Belle takes fills her with this quiet mixture, grounding her deeper into the hall. Breathing itself becomes a pleasure, slow and full, unhurried and even. Her eyes drift open again, catching the play of light in the room. The candles still burn with steady flames, yet the fire has its own kind of light. More alive, more dynamic. Its glow stretches and shifts across her vision. Always moving, yet always calm. She finds herself following its motion, watching how one flame bends and rises while another spark flares and fades. The dance is endless, but it never feels chaotic. It is simply natural, as dependable as the rhythm of her own breath. The chair holds her fully, reminding her with every moment that she is supported. The longer she sits, the more her body sinks into its shape. The more the fabric seems to mold itself to her form. The weight of her day, the effort of her walk, the quiet anticipation of her arrival, all of it drains away, leaving only the steady pulse of comfort. The fire beside her continues to hum, its sound becoming part of her awareness, soft and continuous. Belle's thoughts, once scattered, now settle into stillness. The chair provides the physical support, the fire provides the warmth, and the hall provides the silence. Together they shape a mental space where nothing needs to be solved or remembered. She is not required to move, not asked to speak, not expected to plan. Her mind mirrors her body, both sinking into the ease of the moment. This stillness is not empty. It is full of presence, full of peace. The beast's eyes, thoughtful and calm, rest on her for a moment. He seems satisfied that she has found comfort, and his posture reflects that satisfaction. He leans slightly closer to the fire, perhaps adjusting a log, his movements slow and careful, adding to the quiet rhythm of the hall. His presence is steady, but unobtrusive, a companion to the silence rather than a disruption. Belle feels his calm as part of the environment, another layer of reassurance that nothing here will disturb her. The hall grows warmer as the fire builds, its hum deepening, its glow spreading further across the stones. The shadows grow softer, blending together, until the edges between light and dark blur. The room feels whole, complete, and unchanging. Time seems to slow within it. Minutes pass unnoticed, folded into the larger stillness that surrounds her. Her body grows heavier, her breath slower. The chair does not resist the weight. Instead, it seems to accept it more deeply, as though it was meant to hold her through long hours of rest. The cushion beneath her feels softer now, her back more relaxed, her arms completely at ease. Even her neck, often carrying subtle strain, finds release as the pillow of fabric supports her head. She realizes that she has not shifted since she sat down, and she feels no need to. Everything is already right. The sound of the fire continues to hum, a low, steady music that calms every part of her being. Occasionally, a spark rises. A small crackle breaks the pattern. But even these moments add to the atmosphere. They are variations within the larger rhythm, reminders that life is present, but life at its calmest, most restful pace. Each sound becomes another step downward into stillness, another reason for her body to surrender. The hall seems larger now, not because it has grown, but because her awareness has stretched into it. She notices details she had not before. The faint etchings on the chair's arms, the texture of stone along the floor, the tiny movements of shadows across the walls. Each detail carries the same message: calm, rest, stillness. Nothing in this space asks for attention. It only offers reassurance. As Belle continues to sit in the chair, the world beyond fades further. The rain outside becomes a memory. The journey to the castle becomes distant. What remains is only this moment. The chair that supports her, the fire that warms her, the hall that holds her, and the quiet presence of her host nearby. All these elements align to create peace deeper than she expected. Peace that reaches every part of her being. And in this peace, she allows herself to rest completely, her body sinking fully into the chair, her mind dissolving into the hum of the fire, her breath becoming part of the silence that fills the hall. Chapter 13. Explore the library together. Pages crisp, stories steady and clear. The most comforting journeys happen not in faraway lands, but in quiet rooms filled with words. And that sense of comfort begins as Belle rises from her chair and follows the beast toward the great library. The hall fades behind them, and a wooden door swings open to reveal a space bathed in a softer glow. The library is vast, yet calm, lined with shelves that climb high toward a ceiling arched with wooden beams. The air inside is different, warm but touched by the faint scent of parchment, leather, and ink. It feels rich, aged, and timeless, as though every book has been patiently waiting for this moment. The shelves stretch on, filled with rows of volumes bound in dark covers, light covers, some plain, some ornate, Their spines catch the glow of nearby lanterns, each one showing the mark of use, a sign of stories read and remembered. Candles stand on tall holders between the shelves, their flames steady, illuminating the paths between rows. The light is gentle, never glaring, leaving shadows soft and quiet, giving the library a tone of stillness and peace. Belle steps into the room, and her shoes make the faintest sound against the polished wooden floor. The sound echoes slightly, not sharp, but soothing, as though the space itself has a memory of every step that has passed through it. She runs her fingers along the bindings of nearby books. The textures varied, some smooth, others worn, each telling its own story before a page is even turned. The crisp scent of paper rises faintly with her touch, reminding her that every volume holds its own world inside. The beast gestures calmly toward the shelves, his eyes thoughtful, his movements unhurried. His presence is quiet here, respectful of the silence that belongs to the books. Together they walk slowly along the aisles, Belle's eyes scanning the titles while the beast observes her with patience. There is no need to rush. The library invites slowness, a pace as gentle as the turning of pages. She pulls one book from a shelf, its cover firm beneath her hands, the weight solid but not heavy. As she opens it, the sound of the pages is crisp and clear, each one sliding smoothly as it turns. The words lie evenly across the paper, steady in their lines, waiting to be read. She takes in the sight of them, not in haste, but with appreciation for their presence. Each page feels like a promise of calm, exploration, a journey that requires nothing but attention and breath. The beast watches her with quiet interest, his thoughtful eyes reflecting the glow of candlelight. He says little, but his posture shows contentment. His calm stance allows her to lose herself in the moment, knowing she is accompanied but not pressured. His presence beside her adds reassurance, as though the library itself is shared between them, not owned by one, not commanded by the other. Belle moves to a nearby table, placing the book gently upon it. The wood is smooth, polished by time and use, its surface cool to the touch. She settles into a chair, opening the book fully now, the spine creaking faintly as it adjusts. The pages lie flat, ready to be read, and she begins to explore the story within. The words are clear, printed in even strokes, their meaning unfolding steadily as her eyes pass over them. The crisp sound of each page turned punctuates the silence, a rhythm as calming as rain. The fire in a small hearth at the far end of the room hums quietly, adding warmth to the space. Its presence is subtle, a low companion to the stillness of the library. The flames reflect faintly on the glass of the lanterns, doubling their glow, making the shelves shimmer, as though the books themselves hold light. Belle feels the weight of the story in her hands and the comfort of the environment around her, and together they create a deep sense of belonging. The beast takes a seat across from her, a book of his own resting in his hands. His movements are careful, his fingers steady as he opens it. He reads without urgency, his eyes moving slowly across the page. The sight of him absorbed in the words creates a shared silence, a silence that feels rich rather than empty. They are both here, both present, yet each held by a story of their own. The library becomes a bridge between them, a place where companionship is formed, not through words but through quiet attention to the same act. The crisp turning of pages continues. Each sound feels satisfying, clean, and purposeful, as if each new page is a gentle step forward. The silence of the library is not broken by it. Instead, the sound enhances the calm, a reminder that progress is being made in the most peaceful of ways. Time stretches in this rhythm, unhurried and free, carrying them deeper into rest. Belle's eyes move steadily through the story, her breathing slow and even. The words are simple yet full, guiding her imagination without pulling her away from the quiet atmosphere around her. She feels balanced between two worlds, the story within the pages and the room itself. Both are steady, both are calm, both invite her to surrender into their stillness. The beast glances up occasionally, his expression thoughtful, as though considering not only the story before him, but also the quiet presence they share. His calm demeanor adds to the atmosphere, his stillness reinforcing the library's own character. Together, they create a picture of serenity. Two figures absorbed in books, surrounded by shelves of waiting stories, enveloped in the hum of fire and candlelight. The air carries the faint scent of leather bindings mixed with the warmth of wood. Each breath Belle takes feels grounding, a reminder of where she is, a reminder of the safety the library offers. Her body relaxes more deeply into the chair, her fingers tracing the edge of a page before turning it. The texture of the paper is firm, the sound of its movement crisp, and the sight of fresh words steady and reassuring. Minutes pass unnoticed, folded into the rhythm of reading. The environment does not change. It remains constant, steady, supportive. The light of the candles stays even, their flames strong against the air. The fire continues its low hum, casting warmth across the room. The books stand silently on their shelves, their presence patient and enduring. Belle feels herself drawn into a timeless moment, one that could continue for hours without interruption. The stories they read are different, but the experience is shared. This shared quiet becomes a story of its own, one written not on paper, but in the rhythm of breath, the sound of pages, the presence of companionship. There is no need to speak, no need to explain. The act of sitting together in this calm is enough, more powerful than any spoken exchange. As Belle turns another page, she feels her eyelids grow heavier. The crisp sound is still satisfying, but it blends now with a growing drowsiness. The words blur slightly before coming back into focus. Her body has grown so comfortable that the act of reading itself feels like a lullaby, a rhythm that carries her closer to rest. She notices, but she does not resist. The library welcomes this surrender, its stillness ready to hold her whether awake or drifting. The beast lowers his book slightly, resting it on the table, his eyes lifting toward her. His expression remains thoughtful, but there is a quiet kindness in the way he watches her. He does not speak, does not disturb, but his presence adds reassurance. She is safe to close her eyes if she wishes, safe to let the story pause, safe to rest fully in this space. The pages of her book remain open, the story waiting without urgency. The library will hold it, just as it holds every other book, patient and timeless. Belle breathes slowly, her hand resting on the paper, her body heavy in the chair. The sound of the fire hums softly, the candles glow steadily, and the silence deepens into a kind of lull. And so the library becomes not only a place of stories, but a place of rest. Its crisp pages, its steady words, its shelves of endless tales, all of it contributes to the calm guiding her deeper into stillness. Here in this space, with the beast beside her and the fire humming nearby, the night feels complete, and her body and mind surrender fully to peace. Chapter 14. Notice their kind exchange. Simple questions. Patient answers. Growing ease. The most natural way trust begins is through small moments. When words are spoken gently and responses are given with patience. And this is what unfolds between Belle and the Beast as they share the quiet of the library. Their voices rise softly into the stillness. Never loud. Never rushed. Blending into the calm atmosphere of fire and candlelight. Belle begins with a question, her tone light and curious, and the Beast answers with care, his words measured, his cadence unhurried. Nothing about their exchange feels forced. It grows in its own rhythm, each question leading to an answer, each answer opening the space for another question. The kindness in their voices is unmistakable. Belle's words hold respect, carrying warmth without judgment. The Beast's replies carry thoughtfulness, each one showing that he has listened fully before speaking. Their tones create balance, her voice softer, his deeper, yet together they form harmony. The pauses between their sentences feel just as meaningful as the words themselves. Silence stretches without discomfort, filled instead with ease, as though both are content to sit in stillness until the next thought naturally arrives. The subjects of their conversation are simple. Belle asks about the books, the shelves, the rooms of the castle. He answers with calm detail, speaking not with pride, but with quiet familiarity, as though he shares what he knows only because she has asked. When he finishes, he sometimes adds his own gentle question about what she enjoys reading, about what she has seen in her village, about the walks she has taken under lantern light. She replies in kind, offering details of her days in steady phrases, never rushing, never holding back. The conversation flows like the rain outside, steady, even continuous. Their words are not grand, not meant to impress, but to connect. Belle notices how his eyes soften when he listens, and he notices how her expression lightens when she speaks. The library around them, filled with the presence of countless stories, becomes the perfect setting for their own story to begin. A story not written with ink, but spoken in these small patient exchanges. Each answer the Beast gives carries more than information. It carries presence. His tone makes clear that he has considered her question, weighed it, and chosen his words carefully. Belle feels this consideration, and it reassures her. She knows she is being heard. She senses that her words matter, not as an obligation, but as something received with genuine interest. The patience of his replies encourages her to ask more, to share more, to open herself in ways she had not expected. As the exchange continues, the distance between them shrinks, not in steps, but in feeling. What was once unfamiliar begins to feel natural. What could have been guarded becomes relaxed. They do not try to shape this outcome. It arrives on its own, formed from kindness and respect. The rhythm of question and answer becomes like the turning of pages, one leading to the next, each one steady, each one clear. The fire hums in the background, its sound filling the space between their voices. The warmth of the flames joins the warmth of their words, creating an atmosphere that grows more comfortable with each passing moment. The candles along the walls burn evenly, their light steady, their glow wrapping their faces in soft tones. The environment supports the ease, reinforcing the calm nature of the exchange. Belle asks about the garden she has glimpsed beyond the courtyard. And the beast answers, describing the trees and flowers that bloom in different seasons. His words are unadorned but thoughtful, carrying detail enough to paint the scene without exaggeration. She listens, picturing it clearly, and then adds her own thoughts about the gardens in her village, how they change with the year, how she enjoys their scents in spring and their colors in summer. He listens, nodding slightly, his thoughtful eyes showing attention in every detail. The questions remain simple, but simplicity is their strength. Nothing weighs heavily on the conversation. Nothing carries pressure. The exchanges move back and forth, like steady breathing, easy and natural. Each new question comes not from obligation but from genuine curiosity. Each answer arrives not as duty, but as offering. Together they create a cycle of communication that feels safe, soft, and reassuring. The beast's voice carries patience in every word. He never interrupts, never speaks over her, never rushes her to finish. Belle's tone carries openness, showing she is not afraid of his presence, not holding herself back. This mutual respect shapes the atmosphere more than anything else. Their words are only tools. It is the kindness behind them that creates the real connection. As they continue, laughter begins to appear in small doses. Not loud, not sharp, but gentle, soft smiles, slight chuckles, light moments that arise naturally from shared stories. These moments signal that ease is growing, that the walls between them are lowering. It is not dramatic, not sudden, but gradual and steady, built on the same rhythm as their questions and answers. This ease deepens the calm in the room, making the silence that follows their words even more comfortable. The beast asks what Belle enjoys most in books, and she answers with thought, describing how she values stories that reveal truth through simple lives, how she finds rest in words that reflect kindness. He listens, his eyes showing understanding, and then shares what he values: clarity, wisdom, lessons that remain steady across time. Their preferences differ, but the difference does not divide them. It enriches the conversation, giving them more to share, more to reflect upon. The longer they speak, the more natural the flow becomes. There is no hesitation now, no barrier. The library, once silent, is filled with their voices moving softly back and forth. The fires hum, the candles glow, and the faint sound of rain outside form the background. But the true center of the moment is the exchange itself. Kind, patient, gentle, and unbroken. Belle leans slightly forward at times, her hands resting on the table, her expression calm. The beast leans back occasionally, his posture relaxed, his tone steady. Their body language mirrors the nature of their words: open, unguarded, respectful. Every gesture supports the growing sense of ease between them. In this atmosphere, the sense of time fades. They could have spoken for minutes or hours, and it would feel the same. What matters is not the length of the exchange, but the quality of it, the way it builds trust and rest. With each new sentence, each patient pause, the bond strengthens. The library holds them gently, protecting the space where this connection unfolds. Eventually, silence returns. But now it is shared silence, not empty. It feels full of everything they have exchanged, everything they have learned about one another in this calm conversation. The quiet between them is as rich as the words that came before. Their kind exchange has opened the way for trust. and their patience has built the foundation for ease. The library stands timeless around them. The shelves hold their endless stories. The candles burn. The fire hums. The rain falls faintly beyond the stone walls. Nothing in the environment has changed, yet everything feels different because of the ease that now rests between Belle and the Beast. Their exchange has not been grand, but it has been real, and in its simplicity lies its power. They sit together in that shared space, words no longer necessary, both breathing in the same rhythm, both surrounded by the same calm, both carried deeper into a peace that has grown naturally from patience, kindness, and gentle connection. Chapter 15. Walk the sheltered garden, leaves shining, gentle rain cooling skin. The most calming places are often those touched by both nature and stillness. And Belle feels this truth as she steps with the Beast into the castle's sheltered garden. The air is cool and moist, carrying the fragrance of rain-soaked earth and greenery. Lanterns fixed along stone pathways glow softly, their light reflecting against wet leaves and forming gentle halos in the mist. The sound of rain continues, not heavy, not forceful, but even and soothing, falling through branches and landing in countless rhythms across the garden's surface. The canopy of trees shields them from the heaviest drops, yet the fine mist reaches their skin in cool brushes, a refreshing counterbalance to the warmth of the castle interior. Belle notices how her cheeks tingle faintly with the coolness, while her hands feel alive with the light touch of moisture. This sensation awakens her gently, not with sharpness, but with a delicate clarity that makes every detail of the garden seem more vivid. Leaves overhead glisten under the lantern light, each one coated with a thin layer of water that sparkles when the light catches it. Larger drops gather at the tips, falling occasionally in slow beads that strike the stones below with faint, satisfying taps. Bushes along the path drip steadily, their branches bent under the weight of water. Yet their colors appear richer for it. Greens deeper, petals brighter, every surface renewed by the rain. The garden feels alive, cleansed and vibrant, but calm in its movement, unhurried in its rhythm. The Beast walks at Belle's side, his pace matching hers, his posture relaxed. Their footsteps on the stone path create soft echoes, blending with the patter of falling drops. He speaks little, allowing the sounds of the garden to shape the moment. Belle follows his lead, her attention shifting outward to the sensory richness around her. Every step forward reveals something new. The curve of a branch, the shimmer of a puddle, the quiet song of water flowing into drains along the edge of the path. They pause by a low stone wall, where vines climb upward, leaves shining under the light. The vines drip with water, and Belle runs her fingers lightly along them, feeling the cool dampness that lingers on her skin. The sensation grounds her, reminding her that the garden is not just seen but felt. She inhales deeply, breathing in the smell of wet leaves, a fragrance that carries freshness and clarity, filling her chest with calm. Nearby, a fountain murmurs steadily, its water rising and falling in a quiet cycle that continues despite the rain. Droplets from the sky join the pool below, merging with its surface, creating ripples that spread outward in circles before smoothing back to stillness. Belle watches the motion, captivated by the way water welcomes water, each drop becoming part of the larger whole. Without resistance, the Beast's thoughtful eyes also rest on the fountain, And for a moment, they share silence not only with each other, but with the rhythm of water itself. The path turns, leading them through a corridor of trees that arch above like a natural roof. Here the rain is softer, more like a mist drifting downward than drops falling quickly. The lantern light creates patterns across the branches, shadows shifting as the leaves sway lightly in the breeze. Belle notices how her breathing matches this rhythm. Each inhale slow and cool, each exhale steady and full. The environment shapes her body's pace without effort. A small bench waits beneath an old oak, its surface darkened with rain, but its structure strong. They pause again, not to sit, but to stand in its quiet corner. Around them, flowers bloom in muted colors, their petals heavy with water. Some droop slightly, yet their fragrance is stronger in the damp air. The combination of earth, leaves, flowers and rain creates a blend that is rich but not overwhelming. Every breath Belle takes feels nourishing, as though the air itself carries ease. The beast gestures toward a cluster of roses, their petals shining in the lantern light. Drops cling to their edges, falling slowly, one by one, to the soil below. Belle leans closer, the coolness of the rain brushing her face. As she inhales their fragrance, the scent is delicate, yet distinct, soft yet unmistakable. It lingers with her even as she steps back, adding another layer to the sensory tapestry of the night. They continue walking, their footsteps slow, their silence comfortable. Occasionally, Belle asks a simple question about the garden. When certain flowers bloom, how long the trees have grown here. And the beast answers with quiet clarity, his tone calm, his words measured. Their exchange is as gentle as the rain, unhurried and kind, fitting seamlessly into the atmosphere of the garden. The soundscape deepens as they reach another corner where water trickles from a carved spout into a small stone basin. The rhythm is irregular, but soothing, each drop landing with a tone slightly different from the last. Belle listens closely, noticing how the variations keep the sound alive, how no two drops are the same, yet all belong to the same steady flow. She finds it mesmerizing, her thoughts quieting further as she listens. The rain grows lighter for a moment, and the mist softens. In this pause, the air feels even cooler, almost still, and the garden seems to hold its breath. Lantern flames shine more brightly in the thinner rain, their reflections stronger on the wet stones. Belle notices the clarity of the silence between drops, a silence that feels as deep as the sound itself. Then the rain resumes gently, returning to its even rhythm, and the cycle continues. The path curves once more, bringing them back toward the courtyard. Along the way, Belle notices how her skin feels refreshed, her body lighter. The cool touch of rain has awakened her senses. Yet the calm rhythm of the garden has balanced her energy. She feels both alive and restful, alert yet ready to release into stillness. The walk has become not only a journey through space, but a movement inward, toward peace. The beast remains at her side, his presence steady, his movements unhurried. His calm reflects the garden itself, patient, grounded, natural. Belle feels her comfort deepening, knowing that she is not only safe within the castle walls, but also accompanied by someone who shares the quiet with her fully. Their silence together feels like a bond, one not built on words but on shared stillness. As they near the end of the path, Belle looks once more at the leaves above. Each one still shines. Each one still carries the weight of rain, and each one reflects the lantern light in its own small way. She feels a sense of gratitude for the simple act of noticing these details, for the calm that has grown from something as quiet as a walk in the garden. The night continues. The rain falls gently, and the sheltered garden remains timeless. Belle and the Beast return toward the castle, their bodies cooled, their minds calm, their ease deepened by every step taken under the shining leaves and soft rhythm of the rain. Chapter 16. Guide your breathing with theirs, steady and smooth. Time unhurried. The most calming rhythm you can ever follow is the steady rise and fall of breath. And in the quiet of the night, Belle and the Beast find themselves breathing together, their chests moving with the same unhurried pace. The air feels softer here, touched by the lingering coolness of the rain and the warmth carried from the fire within the castle. Each inhale comes without effort, smooth and complete, filling the lungs in silence. Each exhale leaves slowly, longer than the breath in, carrying away any remaining trace of tension. Their breathing is not forced, not directed, but natural, like waves that never. Belle notices how her breath begins to match his. The rise of his shoulders, the fall of his chest, the gentle rhythm of his body. Her own movements mirror them without intention. This synchronicity feels grounding, a reminder that stillness does not belong to her alone, but can be shared. The Beast, too, senses the alignment, his eyes thoughtful yet calm, his posture steady, his presence a guide without words. Together they sit in this rhythm, their breaths weaving into one pattern that fills the space with quiet harmony. The environment supports this act of breathing. The faint patter of rain continues outside, its sound even and soothing, falling in a rhythm that echoes their own. The air carries freshness from the garden, mingled with the lingering scent of wood smoke from the hearth. Each inhale draws in this blend. Each exhale releases into the silence of the hall. Lanterns glow steadily, their light unchanging, their flames rising and falling gently, just as their breathing does. Belle places her hands softly in her lap, her body heavier now, her breath deeper. The chair beneath her supports her, and the cushion molds around her form as though encouraging her to relax even further. The Beast sits across from her, his movements minimal, his focus steady. His presence becomes a reminder that calm is not fragile. It is strong. It is enduring. It can be shared between two beings without being broken. Their breathing begins to guide more than their bodies. It guides their thoughts, smoothing the edges of memory, softening the noise of the past. Belle finds her mind slowing down, each thought stretched longer, less insistent, less sharp. The Beast feels his own reflections ease, his mind no longer circling, but settling. They breathe, and the simple act of breathing becomes their anchor, their connection, their rest. Time itself begins to feel different. It no longer moves in minutes or hours, but in cycles of inhale and exhale. Each breath becomes a moment, each exhale a passage into stillness. The outside world continues. Rain falls, night deepens. But within this rhythm, none of it feels pressing. They are suspended in a state where time does not push them forward. It holds them gently, allowing them to remain exactly where they are. Belle inhales again, slowly, and feels her body open with the air. She exhales longer and feels her body release into the chair. The beast mirrors the same cycle, his large frame rising and falling in quiet repetition. Their shared breathing becomes like a soft conversation without words, a dialogue of presence and peace. No sound is needed. The air they share is enough. The fire hums nearby, adding its own rhythm to the atmosphere. Its crackles are irregular yet steady, weaving into the backdrop of sound. The breathing, the rain, the fire, all of it joins into one layered harmony. Belle feels as though she is breathing with the world itself, her body part of something larger yet safe and close. The beast feels the same, his chest moving with calm certainty, his breath anchoring him in the present. Their eyes meet briefly, not in intensity but in recognition. Each sees in the other the same rhythm, the same unhurried state. Their gaze is gentle, thoughtful, patient, just as their breath is. They do not hold it for long. The connection is acknowledged, then released back into silence. What remains is the shared awareness of their harmony, a quiet reassurance that they are both guided by the same flow. Belle leans slightly back, her shoulders softening more, her breath deepening further. The beast shifts slightly as well, not breaking the rhythm, but adjusting to settle more comfortably. Their movements mirror one another, subtle signs that their bodies are aligned just as their breaths are. The air between them feels full but light, as though the room itself breathes with them, expanding and releasing in perfect unity. The longer they continue, the more complete the stillness becomes. Their minds drift further into rest, their bodies heavier, their awareness narrowed to the steady cycle of air. Nothing else demands thought. The books on the shelves remain. The rain outside falls. The fire hums. But none of it interrupts. The world has simplified into this single act, repeated endlessly, endlessly soothing. Belle notices how each exhale feels like a release, deeper than the last. She feels not only her body softening, but also her spirit loosening, opening space for quiet peace. The beast feels it too, his frame relaxing further, his breath smoothing into silence so gentle it could almost be mistaken for sleep. They hover in that space between wakefulness and dreams, carried there not by effort, but by the natural rhythm of breathing. The shared pattern creates trust. Without speaking, they have agreed to the same pace, the same unhurried rhythm. This trust builds not from grand gestures, but from the simplest of acts. Breathing side by side, steady and calm, it shows that peace can be shared, that stillness can connect as deeply as words. The air grows warmer as the fire continues, yet the coolness from the rain balances it. Belle feels perfectly comfortable, her skin cooled by the faint mist drifting through the open doorway, her body warmed by the hearth. Each breath carries this balance into her lungs, filling her with the sense of harmony that surrounds her. The beast feels the same, his large chest expanding slowly, his exhale long and complete. Time continues to lose meaning. Moments pass, but they feel endless, stretched by the rhythm of breath. The silence holds them gently, the sounds of fire and rain filling the space without disturbing it. Belle closes her eyes briefly, then opens them again, her mind hovering in a state of quiet drowsiness. The beast lowers his gaze, his thoughtful eyes soft, his posture fully at ease. Their shared rhythm remains unbroken, carrying them deeper into peace. Eventually, words no longer feel necessary. Their bodies communicate enough. Their breaths, steady and smooth, speak more clearly than voices could. Inhale. Exhale. Rise. Fall. This is all that remains, and it is enough. The library, the hall, the garden, the castle itself, all of it fades into the background. What stays present is only the unhurried rhythm, the connection between them, and the calm it creates. Their breathing guides not only their bodies but their minds into a state of timeless rest, where nothing is asked and everything is given. And as the night deepens, the rain continues, the fire hums, and their breath remains steady and smooth, carrying them both into a peace that feels endless. Chapter 17. Imagine returning home safely. Night quiet. Comfort waiting by bed. The deepest sense of peace comes when the day ends, and the thought of returning home fills the mind. Steady and reassuring, reminding the body that rest is near. Imagine now stepping out from the calm of the castle, the night air cool and fresh, the rain softening into a gentle mist. The path ahead is clear, lanterns glowing faintly in the distance, showing the way toward home. The silence of the world wraps around you, not empty but full of stillness, a blanket of quiet that belongs only to the night. Each step is slow, each sound muffled, as if the earth itself wishes to guide you with care. The sky stretches dark above, clouds moving gently, rain falling in smaller drops that tap lightly against rooftops and leaves. The air carries the scent of damp wood and fresh soil, a fragrance that belongs to endings, to moments when everything winds down. You breathe it in and feel your chest open, your body recognizing safety. With each exhale, you release what no longer belongs to you, letting go of the weight of the day. The path is not long, but you walk it slowly, savoring the calm that grows with every step. Shadows rest easily along the buildings you pass. Their windows are dark now, shutters closed, doors bolted for the night. The village has quieted, its people sleeping, its energy at rest. Only the glow of an occasional lamp or the reflection of rain on stone shows signs of life. Yet this quiet is not lonely, it is comforting. It tells you that the world is safe enough to pause, safe enough to sleep. You are not apart from it. You are part of it, walking through the same silence that holds everyone. The sound of your footsteps joins the rhythm of the rain. They are steady, unhurried, falling in gentle patterns on the wet ground. Each step reminds you that you are closer. Each step another signal that the journey is nearly complete. You feel no need to rush. The calm around you allows time to stretch, making even this short walk feel like a gift. You notice details you might miss in daylight. The way water gathers along the edges of the path. The way tree branches glisten with moisture. The way lantern light bends and softens in the mist. As you walk, your body grows heavier in the best way. The tension drains from your shoulders. Your arms hang loosely by your sides, and your breath falls into a rhythm that mirrors the night. The thought of your bed waiting for you becomes more vivid, almost tangible. You picture the room, its walls quiet, its window closed against the weather, its air warmer than outside. You imagine blankets turned back, pillow ready, the entire space prepared for your rest. The image carries you forward, each detail reinforcing the safety of arrival. The cool air brushes against your skin, but rather than discomfort, It feels refreshing, like the final signal to slow down. It sharpens your senses just enough to notice how calm the world has become. Even the rain feels different now. Lighter, less demanding. It no longer soaks but caresses, falling gently, almost playfully, reminding you that nature itself is in its restful state. You walk through it easily, your body accepting its touch, your mind letting it wash away the remnants of the day. The road narrows, leading into the heart of the village. The homes are familiar here, their outlines softened by darkness, their roofs shining faintly with rain. Smoke no longer rises from their chimneys. Fires have burned down for the night. The stillness is complete, but it is not emptiness. It is fullness, a fullness of rest, of endings, of the quiet that comes when nothing more is required. You feel held within this stillness, as though the night itself has taken responsibility for keeping watch so that you may rest. At last the shape of your home appears. Its walls stand steady, its roof catching the last of the rain, its windows dim but inviting. You feel warmth, even before you step inside. The familiarity of its outline, enough to calm you further. The door waits closed but welcoming, holding behind it the safety you seek. You pause a moment outside, listening to the rain as it falls steadily on the roof, appreciating how the sound belongs to the outside, how once inside, it will soften into a lullaby beyond the walls. The door opens, and you step through, into a space that is warmer, quieter, and gentler than the world outside. The air is still, carrying the faint scent of wood, fabric, and home. The room is simple but complete. Shoes placed neatly, chairs still, surfaces clear. It is a space that holds no demands, no tasks. Its only purpose now is to provide rest. You close the door, and with it, the day closes too. The rain continues outside, but it no longer touches you. It has become background, a sound to soothe rather than to endure. The floor beneath your feet feels familiar, the walls surrounding you solid and sure. You walk through the room slowly, noticing how each detail adds to the sense of comfort. A small lamp glows faintly, giving enough light to guide you, but not enough to stir wakefulness. Its glow falls softly across the floor, reminding you that you are safe here, that nothing more is needed. The warmth of the air wraps around you, easing the coolness from your skin, drawing you further into comfort. Finally, you reach your bed. It waits as you imagined. Blankets folded, pillow inviting, space open, and ready to receive you. The sight alone eases your body, as though the promise of rest is enough to bring release. You touch the fabric of the blanket, feeling its softness under your hand. The familiar texture, a signal of home. The pillow carries the same comfort, its shape ready to cradle your head, to hold you steady through the night. Everything here speaks of safety, of warmth, of completion. You sit on the edge of the bed, the mattress firm yet yielding, supporting your weight with ease. Your body responds instantly, shoulders falling lower, breath slowing further, mind growing quieter. You pull the blanket across yourself, and its warmth surrounds you. Gentle but complete, the pillow meets your head, its surface soft yet steady, and you feel your neck relax, your jaw release, your eyes grow heavy. The comfort of home has completed its task. The rain outside continues, but now it is distant, softened by walls and roof. Its rhythm has become part of the night's lullaby. Steady, consistent, soothing. Each drop that falls is like another reminder that you are safe, that the world outside can continue while you remain inside. Resting, the sound is not intrusive, but supportive. Something to carry you into deeper stillness. As you lie in bed, you realize the journey has ended. Not only the walk through the rain, but the work of the day. The thoughts, the efforts, the weight you carried. All of it has been released. You are home. The night is quiet. Comfort surrounds you fully. Breath deepens naturally. Thoughts fade. And the body begins to drift into the heaviness of sleep. There is no more to do, no more to think, no more to hold. There is only rest. And in this rest, the promise of morning waits quietly. But for now, there is only the night. Only the rain. Only the safety of home. And the comfort of your bed, holding you gently until sleep takes you into its quiet embrace. Chapter 18. Soften your eyelids now, and let your jaw loosen. The most powerful step into rest begins with allowing the smallest muscles to release. And tonight that begins with your eyes and your jaw. Notice how the eyelids feel. Heavy yet still holding a trace of effort. Allow them to soften. Not by forcing them closed, but by letting them rest gently where they are. The weight of the day lingers in these muscles more than we realize. And when the eyelids relax, the mind follows, drifting closer to stillness. Imagine them loosening like fabric no longer stretched, folding naturally, easing into their place. The world grows dimmer behind them, and the gentle darkness becomes a comfort, not an emptiness, but a blanket of quiet that welcomes you deeper. Now bring attention to the jaw. It has carried words, meals, and unspoken tension all day. Even without noticing, it often holds firmness, a grip that is not needed now. Let that grip go. The teeth separate slightly. The tongue rests comfortably, and the muscles at the sides of the face ease downward. This release is subtle yet profound, as though a weight has been lifted from the head itself. With each exhale, the jaw loosens further, no longer clinging to the effort of the day. The difference is immediate. A sense of lightness, of calm, of space where strain once was. The face now carries no effort. The forehead is smooth. The eyes are soft. The jaw unburdened. Even the small muscles around the temples ease, sending ripples of calm through the head and into the neck. This shift radiates downward, as if the whole body takes the cue from the release of these two simple areas. Shoulders sink lower. Arms grow heavier. Breath falls into deeper rhythm. The body listens, responding naturally to this invitation. The environment supports this softening. Outside, the rain continues its steady rhythm. Each drop another reminder of continuity, of peace that does not break. The sound is like a companion to your own breathing. Consistent, steady, always present. The air in the room feels balanced. Neither too warm nor too cool, but perfectly suited for rest. The blankets cradle your body with just enough weight, while the pillow supports the head without strain. Everything in the space encourages you to let go further. As the eyelids grow heavier, the darkness behind them shifts and deepens. There may be faint shapes, colors, or flickers of thought, but none of them hold importance. They are only passing visitors, like ripples in a pond. Your attention returns to the softness of the lids. their weight increasing gently, their relaxation complete. The eyes rest more fully in their sockets, no longer scanning, no longer alert. They surrender to the night. The jaw, too, continues to ease. Every exhale feels like a melting of tension, the muscles growing slack, the cheeks releasing their hold. The throat opens slightly, allowing air to move even more smoothly in and out. The breath itself becomes quieter, longer, more effortless. With each cycle, the connection between body and rest deepens. You are not doing anything now. You are allowing. Allowing is enough. This softening spreads beyond the face. The neck releases, the chest opens, the spine lengthens slightly into the mattress. Hips grow heavier, legs sink deeper into the blankets, feet fall into natural positions of rest. But it all began with the eyelids and the jaw, the first doors into peace. Now that they are open, the rest of the body follows naturally. The mind notices this cascade of ease. Thoughts slow, their edges blur, and their pull weakens. What once demanded attention now drifts away like mist in the rain. The more the body softens, the less the mind clings. They move together toward stillness, each supporting the other. There is no need to guide it now. It is already happening. You imagine how soft the night feels around you. The quiet is thick yet gentle, as though the world outside is holding itself still for your rest. The rain continues, but it does not intrude. It soothes, its steady rhythm merging with the softness inside you. Even time feels slower, stretched between breaths, stretched between drops of rain. Each moment becomes wide and calm, without urgency, without weight. The eyelids now feel completely at rest, heavy and warm, as though they are being held by the darkness itself. The jaw hangs loose, the mouth at ease. No need to shape words or hold tension. The body has given permission, and the mind accepts it. This is the gateway to sleep. Open gently, without effort, without demand. Breath deepens further. Inhale. Soft, cool, smooth. Exhale. Long, warm, releasing. The rhythm carries you lower, like descending into layers of calm you didn't realize were waiting. Each breath is another step into rest. Each exhale loosens the body further. Each inhale refreshes the mind with quiet air. The cycle continues without thought, without interruption. The warmth of the blanket grows more noticeable, not heavy, but secure. It holds you like a cocoon, keeping you steady in the dimness of the room. The pillow shapes itself to your head, easing every contour, holding you without demand. Even the space around your body feels like part of this comfort. The air itself soft against your skin. The silence like a second blanket wrapped around you. Every small detail contributes. The rain outside, falling steadily. The faint glow of candlelight, flickering. Its last. The coolness of the air, balanced by the warmth of the bed. The rhythm of breath. The softness of eyelids. The looseness of jaw. All of it forms one complete whole, a perfect scene of rest. The mind no longer feels separate from the body. Both are united in calm, both drifting together toward the same place. Sleep is no longer something to reach for. It is already arriving, carried in on the softness of breath, the heaviness of limbs, the stillness of thought. The transition is seamless, natural, unbroken. In this state, nothing is asked of you. There is nothing to remember, nothing to plan, nothing to hold. All has been released. You exist only in the present, and the present is peace. The eyelids remain soft. The jaw remains loose. The body remains heavy. The breath remains smooth. Everything continues exactly as it should. The night stretches on, and you drift deeper, guided only by ease. Even the awareness of drifting becomes softer, less distinct, until it too fades. Sleep does not need to be summoned. It is already here, waiting in the darkness, waiting in the breath, waiting in the softness that now covers you completely. Chapter 19. Rest with the rainfall, breath slow, muscles heavy and warm. The most natural companion for sleep is the sound of steady rain. And as you lie in the safety of your bed, its rhythm surrounds you with calm. Outside, the rainfall continues, even and gentle, falling on rooftops, stone and earth, creating a chorus of soft sounds that never hurry, never demand, only soothe. Each drop is part of a larger pattern, yet none are the same, reminding you that peace comes from constancy, not from sameness. The sound blends into the background, steady enough to guide the mind downward, light enough to never disturb. Your breath begins to match this rhythm, slow and unforced. Inhale gently, cool air filling the chest without strain. Exhale more slowly, warm air leaving the body as muscles ease further. The cycle repeats naturally, a perfect balance of taking in and letting go. With each breath, the chest rises softly, then falls again, steady as the rain beyond the walls. There is no need to change it, no need to control it. Breathing happens on its own, smooth, quiet, and complete. The body grows heavier, sinking deeper into the support beneath it. Shoulders release downward, arms rest without tension, legs settle into stillness. Each muscle follows the lead of the breath, softening with every exhale. Warmth spreads through the body, beginning at the core and reaching outward, touching every limb, every joint, every surface of skin. The warmth is gentle, not hot, not sharp, but steady, like embers that glow quietly in the dark. This warmth combines with heaviness to create the perfect state for rest. Secure, stable, unhurried. The rainfall continues to speak in its soft language, tapping against windows, trickling along gutters, striking leaves in patterns that soothe rather than stir. Its presence reminds you that the outside world is cared for, that nature itself is keeping time so you no longer have to. You are free to release into stillness, while the rain continues its endless work. Each sound it makes carries you deeper, like layers folding over you, one after another until you are wrapped completely in calm. As you listen, your breath deepens further. Inhale slow, smooth, effortless. Exhale longer, releasing even more weight, more thought, more strain. The sound of your own breathing joins the sound of the rain. Two rhythms blending into one. The room becomes part of this rhythm as well, holding you in silence, keeping you safe. The mattress molds beneath you. The blanket holds you gently, and the pillow supports your head without demand. Every detail works together, aligned perfectly with the state your body now rests in. Your mind notices this stillness and begins to drift. Thoughts that once circled now fade into the distance, like shapes disappearing into mist. They are no longer sharp, no longer heavy, no longer important. Each one dissolves into the sound of the rain, into the slowness of breath, into the weight of the body. The mind follows the body into rest, surrendering its effort, giving up its need to control. What remains is only awareness of peace, of warmth, of safety. The muscles continue to grow heavier, every part of the body yielding more fully to gravity. The chest is warm, the arms weighted, the legs anchored, the feet sinking deeper into the mattress. This heaviness is not burden, but comfort. The feeling of being held, supported, carried without effort. Warmth spreads further now, touching the skin with steady presence, moving inward into muscles and bones, filling every corner of the body with quiet ease. The rain becomes a lullaby, its rhythm steady, its sound soft, its presence endless. Each drop reminds you that time is passing without urgency, that night is unfolding without demand. You are not required to do anything. You are not required to move. All that is asked is that you rest, and the rain ensures you can eat. Its constant sound is proof that the world continues without you needing to guide it. That truth allows you to release, even more fully, to let yourself be carried by the night. Breathing is now so quiet that it feels almost like silence. Yet it continues smooth and steady, the body moving on its own. Inhale, rise, exhale, fall. Each cycle becomes slower, more drawn out, as if time itself has lengthened to allow your rest to deepen. The warmth grows fuller in this stillness, seeping deeper into the muscles, softening them until nothing remains but heaviness and ease. You notice how still the room has become. The walls are quiet, the floor silent, the air unmoving. All that exists is your body resting, your breath flowing, and the rain outside falling. This simplicity is enough. It is perfect. Nothing else is needed. Nothing else belongs here. You are complete in this state, complete in this moment. As the body sinks further, you feel the line between yourself and the bed blur. The mattress, the blanket, the pillow, all of them merge with you, until it is difficult to tell where one ends and the other begins. The support beneath you is so complete that you no longer feel separate from it. You are part of the stillness, part of the safety, part of the warmth. This merging deepens the sense of peace, removing even the thought of effort. The rain continues to fall, unbroken, unchanging. Its rhythm as steady as the earth itself. It has been falling long before you lay down, and it will continue long after. But in this moment, it falls for you alone. It is the backdrop of your rest, the music of your release. Each drop carries you further into the layers of sleep, waiting to receive you. The mind drifts lower, the body grows heavier, and the space between awareness and sleep narrows with every passing breath. Now the muscles are so heavy they feel immovable. Yet this weight is not uncomfortable. It is the deepest comfort, the sense of being anchored, secured, safe. The warmth has spread completely, filling you from within, protecting you from the coolness of the night. The body is no longer restless. It has found its place, its state, its peace. Your eyelids rest without effort. Your jaw remains loose. Your shoulders free of strain. Every part of you is aligned with rest. The rhythm of breath is slower than before, steady and smooth. Each cycle a soft descent into deeper layers of sleep. The RAIN ensures you do not rise, ensures you do not turn back. Its sound holds you firmly in the present, guiding you further into the quiet world where dreams wait. The night is complete now. Your body is heavy. Your breath is slow. Your warmth is full. And the RAIN is endless. Nothing more is needed. Nothing more exists. Sleep comes naturally, unforced, arriving gently, just as the rain falls steady, smooth and calm. Chapter 20. Conclude by drifting softly, thoughts fading, sleep arriving calm and steady. The most beautiful part of the night is the moment when the mind finally gives itself permission to let go, and the body surrenders into the calm embrace of sleep. You have walked the quiet paths, felt the rhythm of rain, sat within the warmth of fire, and breathed alongside the gentle presence of stillness. Now all of that has guided you here, to this final descent, where there is nothing left to do but drift. Thoughts that once filled the mind have softened, their edges blurred, their urgency gone. What once seemed important has faded into the background, like faint echoes dissolving in the distance. Each passing moment brings less weight, less noise, less demand. The mind now floats freely, no longer grasping, no longer holding. It simply observes the ease that has settled over the body, the ease that grows deeper with every slow breath. The body itself has become completely heavy, anchored to the bed in perfect comfort. The mattress supports every curve. The pillow cradles the head. The blanket rests warmly across the skin. There is no strain, no need to shift, no urge to move. The body has found its place, and in finding it, has found peace. Warmth spreads evenly, muscles remain loose, and stillness holds steady. This heaviness does not feel restrictive. It feels protective, as though the bed has taken over the work of holding you so you no longer have to. Breathing continues slowly, each inhale smooth and quiet, each exhale longer and softer. The lungs fill with calm, and then they release it back into the silence. This rhythm is the final guide, carrying you downward, deeper and steadier. The breath now feels automatic, effortless, a process that happens without the mind's involvement. You are free to let it continue, to let the body take care of itself, while awareness gently fades. The rain outside still falls, unbroken, eternal, in its rhythm. Its sound has become part of the silence, blending so completely that you no longer notice each drop. It is simply there, surrounding you, holding you in its constancy. The rain carries you, rocks you, soothes you, though not through motion, but through its endless steadiness. It whispers of continuity, of time moving without pressure, of the world remaining safe while you rest. The darkness behind your eyes grows fuller now. It no longer holds flickers of thought or shapes of imagination. It is smooth and vast, inviting and calm. Within this darkness lies the space where sleep enters, quiet and unnoticed. You do not need to find it. It comes to you. The eyelids are fully at rest, the jaw is loose, the breath unbroken. Every part of you is aligned with sleep's arrival. Thoughts fade further, breaking apart until they are no longer recognizable. They do not disappear abruptly. They dissolve gently, one after another, like mist dispersing into air. Each thought leaves without resistance, making room for silence. The silence itself becomes expansive, not empty, but full of calm. It is the silence that carries you into dreams, the silence that assures you nothing more is needed. The heaviness in your limbs deepens. Arms lie still, hands at rest, legs unmoving. The body no longer feels separate from the bed. It merges with the surface beneath it, as if the two have become one. The sensation is complete support, complete ease. The mind no longer checks in on the body because it already knows the body is safe. This is the final step, trusting fully that nothing more is required. The warmth of the blanket adds to the sense of enclosure, wrapping you gently but securely. Its weight is not much, but it is enough to signal safety, enough to tell your nervous system that it can release fully. The pillow under your head does the same, holding you so evenly that your neck and shoulders let go completely. Every surface touching you communicates the same message. Rest is here, sleep is safe, peace has arrived. Breathing now becomes slower, still, almost imperceptible. Inhale, soft, faint, steady. Exhale, long, warm, dissolving into the room. Each cycle is quieter than the last, carrying awareness further from the surface of wakefulness. Your breath is the final tether between waking and sleep, and even that tether is loosening. Soon it will continue without you noticing at all, continuing as you drift completely away. The rain grows more distant, not because it has stopped, but because sleep is drawing nearer. The sound that once filled the room now feels far away, muffled, like a memory of sound, rather than sound itself. The same happens with your breath. It continues, but you no longer follow it. Your mind has released its hold, surrendered its need to track. You are falling now, softly, steadily, without resistance. The night embraces you fully. Its silence is endless. Its comfort, complete. The world outside continues, but none of it reaches you. You are enclosed in the safety of your room, your bed, your body's warmth. Every layer has been prepared for this exact moment. Every step of the night has guided you here. And now, sleep arrives, calm, steady, unavoidable. You do not need to notice when it happens. You do not need to mark the transition. One moment, thoughts fade, breath slows, muscles are heavy, rain is distant. The next you are already asleep, carried into dreams by the gentlest path. Sleep has arrived, and it will hold you for as long as you need, without effort, without condition, without interruption. And so the night concludes, not with an ending, but with this drifting, thoughts fading, breath slowing, muscles heavy and warm. Sleep arriving calm and steady, carrying you into the deepest stillness, where you are safe, where you are held, where you are finally at rest.